Gramps. I found a pair of tickets to get into a really exclusive tavern. Maybe we should go check it out. That was where it began. I am Nathaniel, Lodi, Kelwar, Umros, Rashik, Tamrin, Elisek, Famris, Zanyar, Orlin, Kazviz, Gadri, Panuzu, Deepback. Or at least, I was. Now, I'm not so sure. This is the story of how my grandfather, two strangers, and myself became something we never thought we would be. Or even could be. How we became more than we were. And, hopefully, how we can become ourselves once again. Hi, everybody. I am the second class elitist. My name is W. Adam Clark. I am playing Gnathan. I'm not going to do the rest of the name because we want to get to the show tonight. He is a level 4, currently drow, intentional but originally gnome. Currently artificer, but originally artificer. Currently artillerist, but originally probably armorsmith. And the intention for making a character who was a gnome artificer was, for me, trying to recapture the look and feel of the original Kryn gnomes back when the world of Kryn had Tinkerer gnomes, all the way back in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons before there were numbers attached.
I guess it's me then.
Yep.
I guess it's not me unless I'm just doing another one. I could do another one if you need more time.
Nope, I got mine, but you can do another one if you'd like.
Hi, everybody. I'm W. Adam Clark, the second class elitist. I'm playing Gnathan. I'm going to skip the rest of the name because I don't want to go through the entire thing. He is a level 4 gnomish artificer. The first character I ever made for a D&D game was made for D&D Redbox. He was a human fighter because I was very creative at the time, being all of 9. And his name was Toran, Toran. And he fought with a battle axe and a longsword, which technically wasn't legal, and none of us cared.
All right, now you got to go for 3.
Hi, everybody. I'm W. Adam Clark, the second class elitist. I am playing Gnathan, the 4th level gnomish alchemist. The first time I ever played a gnome in a game other than as an NPC, because when you're GMing, you wind up playing everything, I had made a gnome illusionist at some point back in the heavy days of D&D 2nd edition. And I remember the most dramatic thing I ever did was stopping an escaping villain by using 2 illusions in the same turn. One, to brick over the passageway that he was going to try to duck down to escape when he turned around to fire a something at us, and making a illusion of that same doorway 5 feet to the right in the middle of the stone wall. So he ran head first into the stone wall, stopping himself and allowing the party to catch him.
Clever.
All right, I guess I'll go this time.
Now it's Ace's turn to give us 3.
No. My one is that. So, hi, I'm Ace. I play Badger. And he started as a gnome druid and now plays a Furbolg rogue. And he may or may not put it on, but he is freaked out that he can see the tops of people's heads now.
Nice.
All right, what you got for us, Gray?
Do you need a minute? I've got another one.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. I'll save it for next week then.
I'm Greymane Gaming, playing Gray.
We want to point out, however, that it is a completely independent character because Greymane is spelled with an E, and the character of Grey is spelled with an A. Therefore, they are entirely different.
Damn it! You stole a fact I was going to use.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Second, you're giving out facts that ain't even yours.
I know, I'm so good at this game.
So he's I'm playing currently a high elf wizard who is normally a humanoid rogue of some sort. And on a side note, I'm in the SCA. I was squired over the weekend, so now I have a big heavy
Yay!
chain.
Yay.
Yeah, you literally stole what I was going to use.
I mean, the SCA one would have been good enough, dude.
Yep. And
right.
I guess it's me then, because I get to do my own as the GM, right?
Or we could go back to Ace for his second one because Gray also gave us 2.
True. Okay, Ace, it's your turn for number 2. So, how many lemons were you just sucking?
Wait, he got it.
Like it.
He got
I got
one.
one. So, in regards to actually legitimately this character just not transformed, I run a campaign where this character actually exists in that world, and he is currently turned into a book.
This character has a lot of issues with being transformed, huh?
Apparently.
So that's my other fact.
All right, well, we got to give one more after I'm done. Because, like I said, you owe us 3.
No, he's good with 2.
Let's get to the game.
And I am more than 56. I am your DM for today. The Exacting Experience campaign did not actually have a name any time before this running of it.
Really?
I've run this campaign twice. Twice where it's at least gotten this far. I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna stop and put the caveat.
I was gonna
there.
say, I know for a fact you've run this campaign 3 times, but I guess I guess one session and then dropping doesn't count.
Right, and that's really what I was pointing. I was going with. But the this campaign, I have unfortunately never gotten any party to the end of it. If you don't count them all dying in some horrible fashion, we're going to see if that trend continues or if this party can survive. I'm hoping
I will survive.
Negative fate points. Negative fate points. Yeah. And with that, we'll just do a little quick recap on what's happened so far.
Please, because it's been like 43 months and I forget.
Yeah. So everyone has been sent to this dwarven hold.
I've
This is more
legitimately
specifically the
started 3
palace.
campaigns since the last time we played this one.
You're not wrong. We have the party has been sent to this dwarven hold. More specifically, this is a palace. This is not actually, the entire hold, or it'd be a very small dwarven hold. To look for a crown that Dalton needs for some reason or another. He's definitely not going to tell you but you can always try and ask. It will be
better
fine.
not to know.
Probably better not to know. But you have in fact found one of the 2 switches to get to the crown that is currently locked behind a field of some sort. The Brick of Healing, as it's now called, was the first one, and now you're looking for another. During this run, you encountered 2 undying soldiers. One of them did not live up to his name, the other one did, and that one has been following you around, helping you fight your way through this dungeon. One of the things to remember is the light. The light shining from the crown does not allow him to pass through that area. He cannot walk into it. And as far as you're aware, none of the undead can. But you are currently looking for the second switch. And when you looked at the crown had written in blood. It had the words "Pillar under the mountain, plaque between three kings," written behind it. Beside it.
And we assume we found the pillar, right? All right, so we need a plaque beside three kings.
Plaque between three kings.
Between three kings.
We haven't found anything that even resembles that, right?
But
you've not found anything of that nature.
But did we? Because we found a room that had a whole bunch of
jade figures.
A whole bunch of jade figures and statues in it. And we didn't really search that room clearly to see if three of the statues were in fact kings. And in fact, if there were any plaques in that room. So I suggest we run back upstairs.
We did shoot something that wasn't planned to happen.
Right. We shot the thing that could only be affected by magic when the universe didn't think that we had any, and it caused a fight before we were supposed to have it. And I feel stronger because of it. I don't know about you, but I think that we're okay. So, my suggestion would be we go back upstairs and look around that room and not shoot anything this time and see if we can find a plaque.
Sounds good to me,
Agreed?
grandson.
Agreed? I run over to Godry, and I was like, moan once for yes, twice for no. Okay, time to go. And I run upstairs.
Almost forgot to take my stay alive pills.
Yeah, those will be helpful.
This isn't where we would be.
No, but this is where you were the last time you were on this map, and you know,
hey,
it's the wrong version
this
of
makes
you.
sense now that we have the puzzle. Because look, if you look at the floor in this room, there's mountains, and the pillar that had the brick of healing in it is the pillar located directly under the mountains. If you look at it from, flip it around the other way.
Yeah, except that's now a crater.
Except for now, that's a hole in the floor.
But it still makes sense.
Yeah.
Where would we be coming up? Would it be right here-ish?
Well, I believe we had used the rope.
No, I ran around and up a flight of stairs to get to the second floor. Because there were stairs going up to the second floor.
Yep, that is where you guys would be.
If we come in here, and then whoopsie poopsies, and we come this way, and then this room is the room with all of the jade statues in it. Do any of the jade statues look particularly kingly?
The jade statues here look like they are warriors.
Okay.
They don't specifically look like kings. The two statues that you destroyed were carrying both shields.
We didn't destroy. We redesigned.
Yes, you redesigned. They were carrying shields. The rest of these statues have a motley crew, like a motley. What's the right word here? They don't all have the same type of weapons on them. Some of them are carrying axes. Some of them are carrying hammers. But none of them look like they're in different armor. They all look the same.
Out here was just a balcony which overlooked the rest of the dwarf hold.
Correct. Yes. Okay. Once you stepped out to here, basically where the map ends is the edge of the balcony, looking out over the rest of the hold.
Okay, so I think that room isn't the one that we're looking for. And we know that this room isn't, and we know that this room was the room that had the other puzzle, so it's not going to have both puzzles. So, and he's literally just running around yelling back towards the party as he's doing this. So, what you see me happening on the map is pretty accurate to what I'm doing at the moment. But I think maybe What we want is going to be over there. Because if you think about it, you have this central room here, which looks important but isn't. And then down the end of this corridor, you have an important room that has one of the puzzles in it. So it would make sense that if you went this way, down this other corridor, you would get to another important room that also had a puzzle in it. I mean, that would be symmetrical puzzle design. It's also possible that it could be back this way that we haven't checked yet because both of those two doors are still locked. The question is can we get across this broken section of floor? This thing here that looks like a beam, is that actually a beam?
It is a pillar on the floor below you.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the, more specifically, that is a wall section, actually. I'm sorry. It's about 10 feet down. Because no, I'm sorry. It's about 15 feet down, give or take.
Okay.
Because it is a broken up part of the wall. You could drop down to it to get a little bit more, like to try and get closer to the other edge to see if you wanted to try and like hook something to there.
I mean, we've got 15 feet across. There's got to be some way that I can do something that can clear a 15-foot gap.
Yeah, like you could try jumping to there. You have, well, actually, I don't even know what equipment you have, so I'm going to stop there. You can absolutely try to jump it. If you have spells or anything like that, let me know, and I will absolutely tell you. Gnome tossing.
I have a Misty Step.
Well, that would get you over there.
Now too.
That would get him over there.
I have Featherfall.
But no spell slots. Just remember that.
I could also cast Vortex Warp.
That doesn't sound pleasant.
It would get one of us across.
How much would it hurt?
Also remember that you're down to one spell right now as well, Gray.
Actually, I should have all three of my second levels. I never used any of those.
Oh, sorry. I didn't notice the second. You will actually have three now because you went up a level.
Yeah.
But you'd used all of your first levels, except for one because you leveled.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it wiped out what my prepared spells were. I don't remember what they were.
I'll give it to you. Just if you say it was prepared, I'll let you have it. I'm not gonna worry too much about it at the moment. From where you're at, second, you can see that this is a staircase down here.
I know. Do I have my clockwork homunculus yet? I don't remember. I think I do.
You do, because you used part of the jade that you got from that statue.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
I see two doors on the other side. Can you please describe what their handles appear to be?
Are they also made out of very expensive materials?
They are not. They look like they are made out of stone with like the gold, like maybe a little gold inlaid into them, but like nowhere near as fancy as like the doors you were seeing before. But yeah, these are clearly not the same adamantine doors.
That's fine.
But the handle on these doors are levers. They're not like door. They're not circular or anything like that. So if you wanted to try and hook to them, you could.
Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to summon my clockwork homunculus. He's such a good boy. Okay. So I'm going to be like, I don't remember what I named him.
I don't think you ever told me what you named him.
Okay, well, what we're going to do... Okay, so, I have a very important job for you. I want you to take this end of this rope. Don't worry, I'll feed you slack as you go along. I'll feed you this end of this rope, and I want you to fly over there and tie it around the door handle very tightly. Because if I fall, it will very hurtly. You got me?
Bounces up and down.
Good, good. Okay, here's the rope. Have fun.
How much movement does this thing have? 20 feet.
It has
34.
flight, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. I just wanted to see how long it
Fly
takes, that's
30.
all.
It can get there in one round.
Yep. It gets there in one round, and it is going to tie the rope. Bitch. We'll just use this because it's simpler. I mean, it tied the rope.
Oh, I'm sure that worked perfectly well. I'm sure that nothing whatsoever is going to go wrong when I try this.
I believe in you, second.
I did mention I have Featherfall.
But no spell slots to cast it.
But no spell slots to cast it because you didn't get any extra spells going to level 4.
I cast.
Go for it.
I just go ahead and cast Misty Step and teleport over. I can't mark it right there.
Indeed, this is bad.
I don't seem to be able to.
Hey, Gray, can you do me a favor and check that knot? Since, you just kind of showed up over there.
Sure. So I check the knot.
No, not the one-armed giant. No. We don't need to look at that. I don't know why we jumped over there, but we're coming back here now.
I'm not sure either because I was
okay.
just making sure Gray had permissions and it jumped over to there.
It's okay. I don't need to look at the one-armed giant zombie. It's fine. Okay.
Oops, didn't want to open that.
Please roll initiatives. No. I'm kidding.
Alrighty. Any particular roll I need to make to check that? Or do we just assume I can tell if the knot's tight or not?
Well, you can tell it's absolutely a knot. And at a glance, it's like, it looks like it could work. But
It might hold.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a...
I tug on
I
it
would say
a little
that-
bit, just to,
you feel tension there, but
Okay.
you feel like it could be. You feel like it could be better. I would say just give it an intelligence check, Gray, looking at it, and then we'll see.
Can I just try to loop
ability,
the
right?
handle a couple more times from where I am? Just kind of like bloop, bloop, bloop. Make it so that the knot is like underneath of a couple loops and maybe it won't give away.
Gray, you were 100% sure if he tried to swing, climb, or walk across that rope, it will absolutely give on the door. Now, you're actually having the intelligence check go over a 20. Are pretty sure that the door itself will hold with no problem just because of the dwarven construction. Now, second, you absolutely can try doing that. Give me a dexterity check to try and make this rope actually loop around itself.
All right. $13.
You're sitting there, you're playing with it, trying to make it work, and you can't seem to get it to go around the lever.
What do you think, Craig?
I think you're going to be in for a world of hurt if you try to go across this. Let me retie it or find something I can tie it to.
Okay, I mean, to be fair, his hands are smaller than the rope, so it was a big ask.
Yep, so you can give me a sleight of hand for the rope or just a dex check if you want to try to retie it.
Why couldn't that stay on the 19? Why did it move to the 3? It was so close to being perfect.
I mean, there is still tension there.
I think I might burn.
Might be a little less though. Okay, go for it. Give it another roll.
This game just wants me to die.
So this time when he goes and does, and Ace just used his Misty Step because I'm assuming that's what he did. So, Gray comes over, looks at the knot, and goes, "This ain't gonna work." Pulls it apart and reties it, makes it look like a little noose, and uses that to go around the handle for the door. And now it feels like it's pretty dang taut. Like you're gonna have a hard time pulling this off without trying to rip the door off the frame.
Okay.
Yeah, I got tired of waiting and was like, yeah, this isn't going to go well. And I just...
All right. So I look over at Godry, and I'm like, so Godry, could you climb up a rope?
Moan once for yes, moan twice for no.
Okay, so I'm going to take the rope, right? I'm going to, Godry, come over here. Poof. And I'm going to pull him into the spot where it's closest. And I'm going to tie the rope around Godry, right? So that there's only this, like, the 15 feet of slack between the door and him, so that it's a short a pendulum as possible. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go, so, now all you need to do is just put a hand here, and I just put one hand on the rope, and then put your other hand here, and I put his other hand, even though it's got the shield on it, on the rope, okay? And then, as soon as the rope is kind of taut, all you need to do is just pull yourself up. Got it? Boosh! And I push him off the edge into the abyss. What happens?
So you see Godry swinging. You hear creaking coming from the door because the door. I don't think the door was ready for such a jerk. Godry,
I don't think Godry was ready for such a jerk either.
No, he wasn't. Hold on a minute. Godry may not have been ready for such a jerk, but he's okay. He doesn't hit anything below him. So now he's just swinging like a pendulum down there. Godry is currently like right here, about 15 feet down.
But we have determined that the knot will hold. Hey guys, can you help pull Godry up and then toss me the rope?
I start to assist.
Yep.
You don't have to, because you just see Godry. Like, you come in, you see Godry put both arms on the rope and just yank, and he jumps up like 10 feet doing this and just does it again and pulls himself all the way up to the ledge before you even get a chance to start helping him.
Nice.
Nice. Good job, Godry. All right, give me the rope. My turn.
Godry grabs the homunculus, unties his rope from himself, and throws the homunculus at you.
Okay. Good job. Good job. We're all doing so well. Okay, and now I jump across and die.
Yep. If you're going to jump across, athletics or acrobatics.
I shall choose acrobatics, because skilled in neither, I'm going to take the one that doesn't have a -3.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good
20.
roll.
Da-da-da!
You land with no problems on the other side.
And I didn't even need the rope. Look at. See, we had backup plans and we didn't even need them. And I untie the rope from the door. Thank you, guys. That was some teamwork.
Also, second, remember that you have disadvantage to perception checks while you're near Godry.
Yeah,
I just,
but only for
just
like
now,
another 7 months.
Fair enough. And I just remembered myself, which is why I brought it up.
Okay.
So,
Wow. We don't need
in-
to open either door. This is a mess.
No. The big section that you are seeing, that you are walking past now, second, is part of the wall. It looks like it was part of, it was part of this wall section. Looks like it might be more storage that you see like in front of you, but this one was split in half. And this clearly looks like this was actual battle damage. This was not something crumbled above it and took out part of this wall. It looks like
Right.
something actually battered its way through.
Something Kool-Aid Man through the thing. Okay.
Absolutely.
This door over here that's not locked. Is it not locked?
It is not locked. Any doors that you see that are locked are locked. The ones that are not are not. Stop right there.
Damn it. No, I don't wanna.
So I'm gonna give you. What is your passive perception?
Bad. Although it's better now because I'm not near Godry. 13.
One second.
But I know that I don't have a penalty because I can only see in black and white in here. So that means that I'm in dim light rather than his bright light.
Okay. Yep. You do not see anything.
Perfect. That means there's nothing to worry about. Is anybody else doing anything?
Gray walking around in there. This area honestly looks like this was almost a display room. It has lots of shelving units on it, like sitting areas. You don't see anything there anymore. Like everything was clearly taken out.
Okay.
But it's definitely and stop again second.
I did.
But you were and stop as well.
Everybody stop.
Let me hit the pause button because I keep forgetting I can hit that.
Ha,
You
it
guys,
doesn't affect
you
me.
all, you can definitely tell you guys are used to playing like physically because you're like stop, and I'm like hit the space bar.
I know because I'm sitting.
No,
I don't normally
we're used to having to go and hold.
Yeah, there is that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to say hold, but yes. So for Gray,
Plot. What do I
everything-
see?
Everything's peachy keen.
You see this guy. Can you actually see him on the map? I thought
He
I
cannot.
Uh,
Because I'm using gray vision right now and I don't see anything.
Gotcha. You should actually. be
Me?
able
Oh,
to
I can see him. I can
Yeah.
see. Yes, I see a thing.
Yep. That's what you saw, which is why I said that.
I see another thing here too, which is the same thing.
Yep. That one was invisible, but they're not going to be. That one was still
okay.
hiding, but they're not going to be in a second.
Yay! Lucky us.
Oh, glad everything's okay.
Yeah, I know, right? To answer your the question a second ago, if I remember correctly, like I said, this room looks like it was mostly used for like storing trophies or other items, but nothing is here anymore. The room is definitely in disrepair. Like people were ripping stuff off the shelves. None of the shelving units themselves are undamaged. Like everything was destroyed in this room. As for second, you went into this room. This room had some alcoves in it. The alcoves look similar to like shelving units that you were seeing in here.
Okay.
But these look like these were for more important things.
Ooh.
Like, you speak Dwarven, do you not?
Oh shit! I just saw one next to me. That sucks.
You in fact have two next to you.
Fuck.
That first check was to see if you saw him. The second, and then you started moving around.
I do speak Dwarvish. That's how I was able to talk to Godry.
That's what I had thought because I knew one of you did. I just couldn't remember which one.
It was me. Oh, this is that.
You're looking.
Those aren't good.
You look at when you looked at when you walked around and you saw into the alcoves and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like this looked like this had originally, just like the way it was set up, looked like it was supposed to have like a bust or something similar to it. Maybe like the dwarf king's heads were here with like an item in front of them because there's little pedestals there. But like you might catch part of a word, but not a whole word there. But unfortunately, what's hiding in here now is what you're seeing is shadows.
Okay. On that other point, is there a plaque that maybe would be considered to be centered above one of them and thus could be between three of them, or just any kind of plaque or adornment which is unrepeated from the rest of the cycle?
You're not seeing any plaques that are in different spaces. You're like meaning like they're all directly under where you would assume the bust would be, or whatever the equivalent was.
Mm-hmm.
There are none in between any of them. These are in a perfect line. There is no like any of them in between them where it's only between three. If at best it would only be between two, and there is a wall splitting all of them to make it so if you're looking at one, you would have to be standing at least 10 or 15 feet back to be able to see another one.
Okay.
And initiative, please.
I'm sure
Before
everything's
that-
fine. Okay.
Can I have investigated the pillars?
Yes, you
I'm
can.
specifically looking for another brick of healing.
Roll me your investigation check.
That means there's a chance.
How many times are
10.
these dice going to be almost great and then fall down to a shitty number?
Get those rolls out early so that when you get to the later stuff, it's really good. You find a bunch of really cool looking bricks that are in animal shapes. No, I'm kidding. You find a bunch of regular bricks, unfortunately, but nothing that's like the rune though. You don't see or feel any magic on anything.
Okay.
Alrighty then. So, at the top of the round is Badger, which Badger's looking at bricks. Gray, what were you doing?
I would like to. I was looking at bricks while he was investigating that first room. I just didn't have time to say it yet.
Fair enough. So, after you looked for the bricks, where would you have been?
I mean, do we hear anything? Like, is there a reason? So there's
You
nothing
haven't
that
heard
it's-
anything yet.
There's nothing that's clarified. We're now in a combat, right?
Not yet.
Correct.
Okay. I would probably be trying to move towards this north door.
Okay. So, how far? What's your movement here?
I have 30 feet of movement.
So you would assume you'd just be walking towards the door then?
Yeah, I would not be there. There's no reason to race at this point.
Right. So you could be anywhere between on this line, basically. I'll
put
let
me
you
at
drop
the 30.
yourself. Okay.
Again, I would have been walking. I would have been like leisurely, but I'd just been purposefully walking.
Gray, actually give me a perception check because you have a chance at seeing them as they pass through the door.
Die.
If Gray sees them, Gray can react to them before the surprise round.
If Gray doesn't see them, I'm gonna die.
See what? Gonna burn that last fate point I got.
No, save it. It's fine.
You sure?
Yeah. Hold on to it. You might need it for later.
Quick, change the channel. Wait, no, don't change the channel.
Whatever you do, do not change the channel.
All right. So, what were you doing, Gray? Were you still just searching around in the room?
Yeah, I was actually on my way down to that collapse section to see if I could sneak around that corner.
Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely get past this section here. It's a honestly, it's not going to be extremely hard to walk around this wall, but it would be a dexterity, not dexterity save. It would be an athletics check. Athletics or acrobatics. I'll give you either one of them.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna go down there. I wasn't.
So, like, going to here.
Yeah.
All right.
And then just kind of look at it.
Okay.
What do you tell? What? Game? Don't mess with me.
You're still posed.
No, what's messing with me is the fact that it's saying that the shadow tokens do not exist.
Yeah, I saw that. I was okay with that.
I mean, they're shadows, so
I mean, worst case, just repull them to the same spots. It might be because the file's updated, so the reference point they had is no longer accurate.
That's what I'm assuming. I just repulled another one and it opened up. I'm just
Yeah.
making sure I'm getting the same initiatives.
I mean, if you want to drop their CRs down to like, an eighth, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, this is an easy fight for you guys.
Easy fight for us. Difficult fight for me by myself.
The first shadow, the one that is directly to your left, is going to attack you. It does have a surprise round because shadow.
Yep.
And you missed him.
Yep.
I will just use his stats.
Poor
for that.
Nathan. He had so much left to give.
Nathan. There we go.
So
I forgot, mine looks like a bullseye.
I'm going to bring up the fact that my strength is a 5. I am very, very likely dead.
I mean, there's a chance.
Well, that was a
So-
hit.
That definitely was a hit. And it does 9 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah, and now the D4. So my strength is now a 2.
So is that considered a status effect?
No, it's an attribute drain.
It's a drain, yeah. This has its own special rules. So basically the way this one works, because shadows are such weak creatures, using air quotes, their drain does not require a greater or lesser restoration. It just requires you to rest.
Yeah.
And then it goes
honestly,
away.
to be fair, most, having recently had this conversation, attribute drains do recover at least partially during a long rest. Theirs recovers on a short or long rest. However, ask Noctis. However, here's...
And the
Scorched
one
Ass
that's
97
directly
has
behind you
purchased
will
10
go as
packs.
well.
Scorched Ass, thank you for buying 10 packs. That's also a hit.
DM.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
You're not DM second. Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I am a GM. I'm not going to be a player in a second either because I'm about to die.
No, current DM. As this hit goes off, can I play a card?
Yes.
Lovely.
I think we're thinking the same.
Second, I know you wanted to play someone smart, but we need someone that has a lot of strength.
Wow. Okay. I'll take it.
Okay.
I would like to change his class, please.
All right. Give me a second
No,
here while I
not
roll the
wizard,
dice.
not
and see what
please.
it is.
That's going to shuffle his attributes and hopefully give him more time.
Well, at the very least, it should double.
Yes.
Like, even if I get any other attribute, it should double it.
Was that what you were thinking, Gray?
I was actually thinking about playing a short rest card.
Oh, no. I didn't even think about that, to be honest, but
I mean, that can work too.
I just
That can
assumed
also work later.
if we can roll a barbarian, then obviously the 20 is going to be put into strength. So
Nathan Smash.
I was about to say any melee martial character, I think we can feasibly say the strength is the 20. Now, unless you just rolled a wizard, and then that's going to be your dump
He
stat
just rolled
again.
something terrible. I can tell by the look on his face.
His strength is now a 3.
What did you
That's
roll?
That's double probably currently. Hey, even cleric.
I rolled something that you already have been. So
Okay.
I'm
Paladin?
going to spare you that. No, because it wasn't the paladin.
Okay.
I'm going to spare you that one, and I'm going to make you join the cult of Dalton and become a cleric.
Okay.
I still think there is a reasonable argument.
His dexterity just tanked horrifically.
That's
So-
fine. But I think there is a reasonable argument that can be made that your 20 that was in Dex can be put into a strength.
At the very least,
And-
my strength will at least be a 12 or a 14, which is so much better than a 5.
Correct. But I'm just saying, reasonably, I think there is still an argument that the 20 can be put in strength and still be a legitimate build.
Yep. Give me just a second as I
I
draw
just
up
gave you
the
a lot of time.
plans.
I just gave you a lot of time.
What armor should I be in?
Heavy.
Depends on what type of cleric.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why I'm asking, because I'm assuming I won't get choice of cleric type.
No, you're not allowed to pick a Twilight cleric.
Carver! Rose, thank you for the Prime sub.
Woo!
You actually just told me what your stats were not too long ago.
Yep.
I know that. Yep.
And I'm not going to say I foresaw this coming. I'm just going to say I gave my GM all the information he needs to be able to facilitate goofy stuff.
So you are now a life cleric.
Nice! I will heal myself.
You will be able to heal yourself. You are a life cleric until, because I think that was the
That was the
basic
blue
card.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the basic card. So you are a life cleric until the end of the session.
All right.
Well,
I got this.
technically, that's a rare, but or no, an uncommon. Sorry, but it's the first level of the card, so
Oh, you get a lot.
Oh, we are
There we
actually close to a
go.
hype train, guys. If we get one more sub, gift sub, or something else in the next 30 seconds, it'll start a hype train. I should have noticed that 2 minutes ago. I'm sorry. That's what I get for not looking at chat. It's my mistake. No, there we go with a save. Hype train.
Alrighty then. So I have fixed the Gnathan, and while he puts his new character together, that is fine.
My new character is together. I will be dropping him in just a second.
No worries. I've already put you in. Your strength has not been addressed yet, but we also have not done the... We've done the damages, which I will say that the first hit went through and got negated by the card. I'll just go with that for now.
Flowers and Wanderer. Congratulations on receiving those gift subs from More Than 56 and Haste Dragon. All right, so this me off to the side here, is that the old one or is that the one that we can change?
That is the old one. Yeah, I don't want to. I want to keep that off to the side just in case I need
Okay.
to pull it up from one reason or another.
All right, so where's the one that I should change? The one that's in the field?
Yes, that one.
Okay.
One with the giant cross. Excuse me, bullseye on it. Oh wait, you can't see that.
I can't, but I can feel it.
I've already addressed the health. The first hit and the second hit both hit. They both went in. The first set of stat damage
Okay.
And the health that you took was negated by the change. Now you're going to get hit with the second attack's damage and stat reduction. So it's
Boofros, thanks for giving the sub to Mute Gamer Lady. That's 2 more points of strength down.
so you're down to 14 for your strength. Ooh,
Okay.
that is a really nice picture. You're down
Thank
to
you.
14 for strength, and you actually only took 6 damage.
All right. Equipped. Okay.
Jim, can you describe how the change happened while he got hit?
How did you know that was the next thing I was going to do?
Because I can read your mind. Sometimes.
So the first shadow comes out of the cubby to Nathan's right and swipes him across his side, and Nathan feels the necrotic damage, feels the necrosis from that, and then also feels himself become really cold and feels his strength seeping out from him. At the exact same time, on the opposite shoulder, so his left shoulder, you see a very small portal open up. You guys are very familiar with this portal because you've gone through it a couple of times. You're just used to it being, about a 10-foot sphere. And you see Dalton's hand come out. Nathan, who's standing there, if he looked over his shoulder towards it, would actually see Dalton standing there with a big smile as he puts his hand through. And as you see the hand come out the portal, it becomes spectral. And he taps you. You feel the necrotic feeling go away.
Okay.
And you feel the warmth coming back to you, like your strength was coming back. As you also go through the change, because you're being polymorphed, so this is you feel like everything is changing. You suddenly start feeling a lot stronger, but you also feel like your balance is completely off. It's gone.
Okay.
You feel a lot wiser as well. And then you get struck in the back by the other shadow, and you feel that cold feeling all over again.
Stop.
But it didn't seem to hurt as much this time because you still feel big and buff compared to what you were.
Well, it didn't drain 50% of my strength stat. That's for sure.
And that door is supposed to be open, unless someone closed it on me. And next, since I've done my 2 shadows,
he deactivates. I can rebuild him again. It just takes another long rest.
correct. Yep.
Yeah.
And I forgot, what did you roll? Because I can't remember.
For what?
Your initiative.
Oh, I was there were 2 of them and then me.
It was like a 6.25 or something.
I was after the Undying Soldier, but before the next shadow.
That was what I had thought, because I was pretty sure it was the 2 shadows and then Godry, then you.
Yes,
but I
2
couldn't
shadows, then Godry, then me. So we're just going to drop me right there. That's fine.
Yep, perfect. And that was Godry's turn. Godry, having heard you yell, runs over. And
Thank you for the hype train, guys. Choo choo, mother effers. Yeah, I gotta sleep
And
again.
Godry, as soon as he comes in, doesn't even need to roll a cast because he sees the light. Exactly. He looks at them and just goes, I got a light. And he goes and swings his 2 times.
Oh, of course he does.
Godry's first attack misses. Godry's second attack hits on the shadow directly behind you.
Great.
So now it is your turn, Nathan.
All right. I am going to...
I did put your cantrips in because I
Saw
figured
that.
there were, but the rest of the spells I did not get a chance to put in.
It's fine. Will you allow me to Shield of Faith?
Absolutely.
Okay, I cast Shield of Faith.
Yeah, because you definitely have that.
Yeah.
So you are currently at a 20 AC then?
I'm getting a flashback.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know, right? Just slightly different. A lot more healy.
And then for my bonus action, I smack him with my trunk. No, wait.
Come on, that character was amazing.
That character was amazing. I love that character so much.
Okay, hang on. That character is amazing. Quit saying was.
That's true. The only character or close to was at this point is Gnathan. All right. So yeah, that's going to be what I do right now. I initiated. I armor of faith to myself, and yeah. I don't know why it's not showing me concentrating on a spell, but that's okay.
I don't think I have the mod activated.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Because a lot of the I always forget to double check the mod list before this.
That's
starts.
okay. We'll keep track of it.
And Godry was injured in the last combat. Still, and you see him glow just ever so slightly, and you see some of the wounds knit back together ever so slightly.
I'm going to try to see if I can heal him in a minute because, I might be able to do that now.
Next is...
But I can't use Preserve Life because it specifically says you can't use it on an undead or a construct.
I believe all of your healing spells would say that.
I'll find one where they forgot it. All right, what's next? Because that was my turn.
Sorry, was fixing the last two combatants because of the cards weren't
Hey,
working.
Tex.
The shadow that you actually saw comes forward, and it moves 20 feet, and is now going to try and drain you. Let's see here. And does he hit? Does he hit that magical 20? No. He absolutely misses. Now, the other shadow comes up and it will try again.
Also
And
misses.
absolutely misses.
Ha-ha! I
So
can
this
do this
time-
all day.
So now with the Shield of Faith up and the fact that you can barely see because of all the lights that you and Godry are creating.
I'm not creating any light at the moment.
I mean, Shield of Faith, I just imagine you shine like a giant beacon of light.
You would think that, but you would think it would at least still only be dim light.
Fair enough.
Unlike
Badger's turn.
Godry over there with his freaking sunlight everything.
Yes, it's a shield. It is specifically coming from his shield.
Next.
So, Badger, what you doing now that you've heard Gnathan scream, go, what? And then scream again.
Turning and running. One. Oh, my computer's lagging here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Choo choo.
And from my screen, it shows that I can see this. Can my character actually see that?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
You will have
Wonderful.
cover. It will have cover shooting through the doorway. Oh yes.
I'm an expert. I don't care about cover.
You have sharpshooter.
No. I'm just saying that
He's just saying he can
Badger's
make
an
it work.
expert. So I'm just saying it doesn't matter.
My granddad's awesome. He'll make
cover
that
do?
shot.
Cover just gives him a higher AC, right?
Correct.
Yes, it does. Yeah. In this case, it would increase it by 2.
That's a 15.
It hits.
Told you. It's 7 points of piercing. That's all I can do.
It's a start.
Wait. Is my
Sneak
ally next
attack.
to him?
Sneak attack.
Yes.
Just about to say, is my
Yep,
ally next to
Yep,
him?
yep. I am next to all of them.
Wonderful.
That's part of
Sneak
my
attack
problem, is that I'm next to all of them.
I think 3d6 at this point.
Yes, I believe it is 3d6. It should actually be on your features now.
Yes. It says once per turn you can deal an extra scale.rogue.sneak attack damage to one creature.
There you go. There's your 11 extra damage.
No, it's 3d6. No, it isn't. Never mind.
It's 2. Yeah, I think it's
I like
Yeah,
the
I'll
first
take
roll.
yours a lot more.
He'll take the first roll. Why? Because I want to hit
First roll,
this
please.
button.
Yay!
First roll. The poof button. I want to hit the poof button.
Good job, Grandpa.
I think that's like the 5th thing I've one-shot killed.
You're a beast. That card is an absolute beast.
Grandpa is the, licks his thumb, holds it up to check the wind, and just plays the windage game to kill people. Gray, it's your turn. And very, very rarely ever misses. And when he does miss, it's only because you're shooting at something invisible.
Become death. The destroyer of shadows.
Well, you absolutely destroyed that one because it was at full health when you hit it.
All right. Oops.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, did you mean to go into melee range with him?
No.
You can if you want. I don't mind.
So I will throw. Oh, right. I can.
That was a great, quick card play, though, Ace, because, legitimately, without card play, I was toast.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to get a minimum of 4, possibly 6 hits on me before I could respond. And even if all of them rolled minimum, that's more than 5.
Also, just to clarify, since it almost came up, my ruling is if the PC dies, means drops to 0 in a stat, goes down to dead.
Right.
That happens first.
Okay.
Meaning, unless the card was played for the previous hit, that does not change.
Okay.
Now, there's a reason for that, and if it happens, I'll go over it.
No worries. Great damage roll there, Gray.
Thanks. So threw a firebolt, did 10 damage to the shadow.
Firebolt,
Yeah.
doing firebolt things. Got it.
Yes.
It's a very, very burned up shadow.
I think I'm getting the hang of this magic thing, guys.
Yeah, you seem to be taking well to it. One might even say it's brightened your entire visage.
Oh, but
He's got jokes. He's dying, but he's got jokes.
All right, where's that fatigue card?
No, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm about to get really fatigued. I'm still going to get the crap whacked out of me.
I think the day that Nathan stops making jokes is the day we should all fear for our lives.
I'm forgetting they're next to Godry. Because they're next to Godry, they all get disadvantage on their attacks.
Yes.
So that attack absolutely misses. So the next one, the one that is really in pain right now, is going to swing at Godry because Godry is the one that beat on it. And it misses.
Yeah,
Next is Nathan's turn.
You're wrong, Mike. I do.
Nathan is
Probably a good thing.
going to attack this one down here that nobody else can see.
Okay. Yeah, that one is still being lit by Godry.
I have disadvantage on everything. I know this. Because I'm being lit by Godry.
There's one thing you can do to make that so it doesn't actually matter.
Race change.
No, you in fact have something you can do that doesn't matter if you have to
Close your eyes.
Also, if I roll a 10 on both dice, it doesn't matter either.
That's true too. You absolutely smacked the crap out of them. Now roll your damage, sir.
There we go.
Bludgeoned. Next.
Play Whack a Shadow.
You know, I skipped Godry. Because Godry did not swing back. So we'll do Godry next, because technically it was him than you. Godry's gonna, stab himself a shadow.
Hey! Shield of Faith is a bonus action. I could have attacked last turn. Oh well.
You know what? That's kind of funny. I didn't know that either because I treated it like it was an action during our other campaign.
Because I just clicked on the let's see what bonus action spells I have. Which, by the way, that's what these buttons are for. If you want to see just what bonus actions are or just what reaction spells you have, you can click on just those individual ones, and then it shortens the list. And Shield of Faith, 1 bonus action.
So, what Gray sees and Badger sort of sees, because he can sort of see Godry, is Godry isn't holding his shield at the moment. He has it clipped to his side. He's holding the spear two-handed. You see him skewer the shadow and literally pin it against the little wall section right behind it.
Nice.
Murdering it. So, next is the shadow that you were just swinging at, because the other one is dead.
Come on, Shadow. Shield of Faith as a turn 1 spell, when it's a bonus action, makes it so much more valuable.
I forgot to do the disadvantage, so I'm just going to swing one more time.
Yep.
Misses. Yeah, it would have actually hit the first time. So, that attack actually misses because of the disadvantage.
Yay!
I should have moved Godry. So I'm going to do that now because I forgot to. But you would move here. And top of the turn. What is the Lay Badger doing?
But like a cleric with a 2-handed sluggo and Shield of Faith, so that he still has a shield with his 2-handed sluggo. That's some good stuff, boys and girls. Ethers and ethers.
All right.
What is Lay Badger doing?
Looks like I can technically see the creature there. Can I see that creature?
No, you cannot.
Didn't think so.
It's actually around a wall.
Yep, that's why I was asking, because I'm like, I think
Yeah, I'd have to say that's
that
a
would
no.
be such a needle nose shot that there's no way.
Okay, you're putting a shot, between Gray's legs, ricocheting it off the wall on this side to try and hit to here.
If you had sharpshooter, I'd say.
Can I try that?
If you had sharpshooter, I'd say rules as written, yes, but anything less than sharpshooter, I'd have to say no personally. And it's my ass on the line, so I think we're okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Bonus.
Bonus.
I do not think you have that shot.
Bonus action dash.
You haven't moved at all. So what do you
Yeah,
use in your bonus action for? Oh, you did? Oh,
Yep.
My bad.
All right. I can probably clearly see this one.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you're not even going to get any disadvantages for taking that shot. Because Gray, you're just shooting over Gray's shoulder.
Just shooting over Gray's shoulders.
Oh yeah, Godry glowed a little bit and healed a little bit more. Because he does that every turn.
14.
Hits.
Nice. The lowest successful hit we had so far was a 15, so it's good to know that 14s work. Nice! Yahtzee!
23. And that's including sneak attack.
Okay.
18 on my list. Check.
That was a
That's my
damage roll.
And Gray, it's your turn. What are you doing? The one that's still alive is the one around the wall that you can't really see from where you're at.
You can now.
And I will repeat what I did, hopefully. Having some issues with
No worries. Take your time. You hit him with a 14. And
Nice.
it does take damage.
yeah, so how would I
So, just to clarify, because I forgot this was actually happening, when you've hit them with the fireball, you've noticed it doesn't seem to have hurt them as much as it should have. Now, if you wanted to change your attack, you can. But otherwise, it does not feel like it's hurting as much as it could have.
I just thought he was a Bernie mage, and that was just, all he had.
Yeah, if I'd noticed that on the first one, I probably would have tried Ray of Frost.
You definitely would have noticed it on the first one.
You would have noticed it on the first one. I'm gonna tell you,
Ray of Frost would be a bad idea.
You're not gonna get a better damage out of it than that.
I'm assuming they're probably resistant to just all magic.
They're
Probably everything
resistant,
but radiant.
Yeah,
mostly
I've had
correct.
radiant.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have nothing. I figured fire was the easy way to go, or the safest, rather.
Yes, I brought it up because I just noticed it now. I was trying to figure out why it did the reduction, and I went, "Oh right, I forgot to look at that, didn't I?" This counter was made a very long time ago, and I completely forgot.
I will admit that when the first one came up and it said, and the calculation said -5 parentheses 10, I immediately knew because I've seen it happen enough times now.
Yeah, that was literally what it was. Is I saw the parentheses and I went, "Oh, okay."
Yep.
But yep, so you definitely hit it. It did take damage. It just not take as much as you thought it would have. Next is Godry's turn. Godry is going to try and stab him to death with a spear. He's going to hit. He's going to attempt it one more time because he gets 2 attacks.
Come on, Godry. Best card we've played so far.
Yeah, I know, right? It is a card that's actually lasted multiple sessions at this point.
Yeah. It's lasted multiple months at this point.
At this point, it's actually lasted probably about half the sessions. Yep. Anyway, Godry misses with his second attack, and now it's Nathan's turn. What is Nathan going to do?
All right, Nathan is going to... I want to burn a spell just to do it. Just because I can.
Remember, at the end of the session, spells are poof. Because you'll no longer be that class.
That's true. Okay. For my bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon. I will and then I can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. On a hit, it takes force damage equal to 1d8 plus my spellcasting modifier, which really is no different than me just attacking. So, I mean... So we're just going to swing. Because it's already so close, right? If it was farther away, it would be worth it.
Take a swing. Swing, baby, swing.
2 3s. So again, it doesn't matter. No.
All right, so it is the Shadow's turn. The Shadow is going to
You tried,
swing
bro.
at Godry.
I appreciate it. He gave me a +1, which in fact added 33% to my total. Legitimately,
Shadow.
he almost rolled better than I did with a +1.
The Shadow swings at Godry, and because Godry is not wearing his shield, he does hit.
No.
Except for I did not roll disadvantage again, so let's try this again.
Still
He
hits.
still hits. All right. And does 8 necrotic damage, and Godry's losing some strength. Godry loses 4.
Sucks, don't it?
Because it's a drain.
Yeah.
I apologize.
All right, I'll remember that.
Oh, come on. That was funny.
It was. All right.
All right,
Who's
so
Who's up?
I think it's Badger.
Yeah, top of the list.
Badger.
It is. Hey, Mr.
Five.
Mushroom, it's your turn.
Come on, Badger.
10.
Come in and get the kill.
360, no scope, pull back, draw, fire.
Disadvantage, but you get max damage if you hit.
Go for it.
You missed.
No.
A 10.
You miss.
I got nothing else.
Okay. You tried.
Okay, play with more fire.
Play with
Bonus
fire.
action,
Make it burn.
disengage.
You're disengaging from the wizard. Got it.
That's
As
a
the
hit.
wizard blasts him. That's some good damage
For 2.5 damage.
for 2.5. Yes. And next is Godry. Godry is going to try and fight back now that he's lost some strength. This is not going so well for him.
But that'll help.
That'll help. 17 points of damage, and that shadow is absolutely demolished.
Yay!
It
Godry.
is dead. Godry, much as Nathan is probably aware as well, having lost some strength, is having a minor hard time moving.
Hey guys, how about we go back into the main room over there again and let's just sit in the corner and tell stories for like an hour.
I motion towards the door frame. I mean, we could go back to the inn. It would probably be safer.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I feel fine.
I don't know that going back to the inn is a good idea until we get this done. I don't know. I don't want to talk to, to that barkeep more than we have to.
Gray,
Although,
roll an
grandson, you
intelligence check for me.
Grandson,
I'll
look
even give
so
you
good
Arcana
right now.
if you want. You can use Arcana for this.
You look so strong and healthy, grandson.
Thank you.
You're pretty sure if you went back into the tavern with Godry, Godry's going to turn into the pile of dead like he did last time, and absolutely will not get healed by the time he comes back.
No.
I wasn't really concerned with Godry.
But
I am.
I didn't think you were, but I was just making sure that you
but
were
Godry
aware.
should stay and not go through the door.
Yeah, but he won't actually take a break unless there are people with him taking a break because he can't. Being undead, he can't
He's not-
initiate a rest.
So, Godry is not unintelligent. Problem is Godry is also dead. Now, you guys taking a rest means he takes a rest.
Right.
You guys leave, he wanders around and does what he's going to do. So, that's why I was making sure to say that.
And this corner looks really comfortable. And now it's really bright. Godry, give me warning next time, man.
I'd like to walk up to this door.
Oh
And
no.
roll for initiative.
So much for taking a break.
Is it locked?
Nope, it's not
That
locked.
door is not locked.
Okay, I walk up to this door. Mike,
The door over there is also not locked.
can I try to peer through the keyhole?
Because you're wearing those goggles, you can. You see benches.
No, I'm the one
and-
wearing the goggles.
He found goggles of the night before to give him dark vision.
Oh.
So, well, actually, because of that, Godry doesn't actually need the light anymore.
I mean, it's still helpful for causing disadvantage on
Into the shadows, yeah, when they show up.
on shadows and me. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
but on the same note, is that activated action? Because I mean, if it activates off of an action, he could just keep it off until we fight something that's.
yeah,
It's
that's true.
it's a bonus action for him to activate that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
he could just keep it off until we need him to have it on, type of.
Yep.
Thank you, Godry.
So what you see in the room is you see a pillar and some more stools and some more broken shelving units.
Do I see any creatures?
You do not see any creatures.
Wonderful. I go back to the other door and try to peer through the keyhole and see if there's anything in there.
That room looks completely empty.
Just
All you
completely-
just see is the wall on the other side and what looks like a door right in that corner.
Is there any dust in the room, or is it completely empty?
The room looks dusty. It's
Okay,
not
so
like
it's not
the room right before the where you found the pillar where it was like cleaning itself. It's not like that one.
I didn't know if it was another time vault.
No, I don't have any time vaults. That's definitely a Deuce thing.
Do you want me to go through this door? I can kind of look ahead a little bit. But if we run into any more of those ghosts, I might die.
I understand.
I'm not the strongest individual.
No, we should stick together.
All right. Then I will join them for their rest.
All right, everybody hit your magic short rest button and, fix your strength.
Magic short rest buttons.
And during your short rest, Nathan and Godry go back to their natural strength. Or unnatural.
Which should be what for me?
I should have fixed it already. It should be back to a 16.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah. So you wait about an hour here. While you're waiting around, you're not really hearing much coming through. Like you on the wall that you guys are sitting against, this one here, like you'll occasionally see cracks in it where the light comes through a little bit, especially down in the corner here. Because the walls are just a little bit damaged. Like you're definitely not getting through them without a lot of work if you tried that, but you can see cracks in them. In general, you are unbothered during your short rest.
Yay!
What are you guys going to do now?
I was trying to do something, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it done. Okay, so I'll just use my existing icons. So even though that's what's going to happen differently. So what I do is I go, hey guys, hold on a second. I can light up where we're going again. And so I pull out my dancing light spell, but instead of them being the clockwork mechanical fireflies that they've been every time until this point, what you actually see is just glowing radiant. Like he reaches into the same pouch and goes to throw them out, but instead you see 4 glowing, radiant, majestic looking butterflies. And he goes,
Nice.
that's not how that normally works.
It looks a lot prettier.
I think
the GM
agrees with you.
You're learning.
I
Your good old grandpa.
see the you see Godry walk up to the light and just kind of put his foot in to see if he could step into it or not.
I put my right foot in,
And
my right foot out.
as soon as he sees that he can do it, he's just like, and moves on.
Oh. All right. So do we want to start checking these doors?
Yep.
Now that we're recovered?
You swing the door open and you get a lot of dust. The room is empty. You do see another door in there. If this room here, you kind of get the feeling like this was part of storage, like stuff that either couldn't fit in the big room anymore, or just was good enough to keep, but not quite good enough to actually put on display. Got put into here.
right, grandson, you look like you could you look like you could take on some individuals. You want to go in first?
Okay. Haha. Okay. Now walk up to this door, which also I'm assuming is in a state of not lockedness.
In a state of not lockedness, correct.
All right.
You can just swing that door open if you'd like.
Haha.
I pre-fire.
Your arrow takes
Ha-ha!
off of the wall.
Is there actually a wall in there?
There is
Yes,
a wall in
there
there.
So you
Wonderful.
open this room. This room looks like it probably was some form of janitor's closet. Like you see a stone bucket in there. The only reason you know.
Congratulations,
it survives
Grandpa.
the
You
stone.
successfully killed the mop.
I did my best. No one shall ever fall to the hands of that mop ever again.
Good
You
job.
know the dangerous weapon. In the wrong hands,
It could kill.
and I walk back out.
I'm missing one of my fireflies. Oh, there it is. I found it.
Gray, when you enter that room, it is much as I described earlier. There's no there's nothing on the shelves. This from what everything you found, you all believe that this place has been pretty empty for hundreds of years. Like what you're seeing here is only here because the magic is keeping it here, like the skeletons and the zombies, and everything else is either degraded or was taken already. This room, for the most part, it seems to be more or less undamaged, short like the couple of shelves on the left. Nothing's on them. This looks like this was just another room that they used for more storage of the important items. Like this area seems to be mostly devoted to what the clan has done and
Okay.
what weapons they had and unfortunately now do not.
All right. Morden, do you trust me not to be cheesy?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, guys. You notice how everything we've run into so far, like all of the floors, all the building and everything perfectly squared to everything else?
Now that you mention it,
All right, so how come this wall here stops here, but yet if we come down here, not only is this room bigger, there's an entire another room.
I've lost you. Oh, okay.
So that means that all of this distance and half of this distance is unaccounted for.
I shoot the wall.
Ping. Roll me a d20.
Oh God! Oh God! The wall attacks back.
Well, you hit the wall.
18.
Everything's fine. You can just pick the arrow up.
Oh, the arrow might have broke.
Maybe.
Can I try to search? I'm back in the room with the
Yep, I see it.
With the
You can
lights.
search that wall.
Okay.
I like to now investigate this wall as well.
I'm assuming that's what both of you are doing. Give me your investigation check.
Okay. So, in case Chad is wondering, the reason why I phrased it the way I did was technically I can see things on the map that my character shouldn't be able to see because of my GM functions. However, this is something that as a player I always look for. So, my character would have noticed that the map didn't fit, even if I didn't, whether I had seen the map or not. And Morden has played with me enough to know that that's a thing that I always do. My digital mapping is very accurate.
So, Badger, you absolutely found that arrow you shot earlier.
Woo!
I have an investigation of 10.
You search up and down that wall. You see some damage from where somebody clearly slammed into the shelf
Right.
that was there. But other than that, You don't see anything out of the ordinary. You don't see like any bricks or anything like
No
that.
bricks of
sticking
healing,
out.
nothing.
No, yeah, nothing like that.
Okay.
Gray saying it's an investigation, which is probably better for you, Gray. But
yeah, I hit the wrong thing.
yep, no worries. We can still keep the roll if you just tell me what your bonus is for
Yeah,
the
that's
investigation. So you got a 7 and
It
7
would have
plus
been
7, so
it would have been 14.
So no, you honestly don't see anything either. The wall looks like it's normal.
Okay.
Like none of the
Alright.
stones look like they're out of place, and nothing looks like it could be shifted or anything like that.
I mean,
Open
it
up the
might
door.
even just be something that's enterable from a different direction that we haven't gotten to yet. I'm just saying that I feel like there should be something there.
I do not know if you saw this earlier, but back where you fought the shadows, there was a set of stairs.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know if the players had caught
I
that.
made the assumption that those stairs went down to the floor that we were on before as they went down, correct?
No, actually, these ones do go up.
Oh,
If
I
you-
saw that wrong then. Okay.
Yeah, the arrows in front of the stairs indicate if they go up or down.
All right, well then that is most definitely a different thing, a horse of a different color, and I am going to try to find
I had
where I
not
put
clarified
my
that
character.
because I had forgot to clarify that earlier.
Okay. Where did I go? I lost me. I can't find me.
I lose you a lot.
I lose me a lot too. I blend into the shadows really well. But there's nothing in this room up here now.
You're here in the doorway.
Yeah, I literally just found you by cruising
Okay.
highlighting
Okay.
everything. There we go.
Okay. Oh, guys. I just remembered. If we come over here into the room where I almost died, not this one, but the other one, the one that's down lower. If we come down here to the room where I almost died, there's a flight of stairs and it goes up.
In the room I almost died.
I didn't mention it before because for some reason I thought those stairs went down, but I realize now that they went up, so we might want to go take a look at that.
Yeah. Or maybe you're mistaking it with the flight of steps that were down in the other room.
Correct, Gray. There is a flight of stairs down there. These ones down here that are going down. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys going up?
Yes.
Sure.
Yay, new map.
New map.
Oh no, I am tokenless.
You guys go up the flight of stairs. Going up the flight of stairs, you come into a hallway that is only 5 feet wide, and fairly long. I am going to be dropping your tokens in a second. Alrighty.
Am I missing dark vision?
You probably are because it's the magic item that was given it to you.
But you're not missing dancing lights vision.
There we go. Now I can see.
I also updated you so you have your dark vision. So yeah,
Interesting.
you're in a hallway. This hallway is damaged. Now that you can actually see it more effectively, there you see that there appears to have been a good amount of fighting here. Like the tunnel fighting, like you don't have. It's not like the room with the statues where you had the bodies all around it. The bodies here seem to have been cleared out, but you see a lot of like slash marks against the walls, places where like maybe a hammer or some kind of bludgeon hit it, that kind of thing. Little chips where arrows probably or crossbow bolts hit. In general, this hallway looks like it's in probably worse repair than than most of the other areas you've been in. It's probably when I move stuff.
My ability to lose my own character is amazing.
I was standing on him.
So from where you guys are at, you can to the north see another jade statue. This is a warrior holding an axe and a shield. At the top, at the northmost portion of it, you can see a circular set of stairs leading down.
Okay, guys. That set of stairs leading down, that would correspond almost exactly to, if the layout's the same, that we've traveled about the same distance as, like, right now, I'm standing where that outside wall should be. So that means that that stairwell leading down should access us to the spot where I thought there was a room where we couldn't find a room.
Following you.
Let's go! And then we'll come back up.
You go down and they go back up.
Well, we go down, and then after we go down and search that whatever that one room is, we'll come back up.
Roll me initiatives, please.
No! Not what I wanted to hear.
So, who was the first person to go down the stairs?
Not me.
Nathan? Or did you, Nathan, Godry, who?
I stayed to the back.
It's gonna be me. Let's face it.
It's gonna be me.
Hey, with that initiative roll, sure, that works perfectly. So I am just going to shift Big Boy and everybody else back one square.
Boink.
Because, yep, Nathan would be there, and and he would not immediately walk into the ogre zombie.
And I would be kind of moving some of the dancing lights in front of me on our way down.
Yeah, I assumed that you would
like
be
pretty much
having them
two
front.
in the party and then two in front kind of thing.
You see a ogre zombie and some dwarf zombies. You guys are not surprised because Nathan would have saw them with the dancing lights, and at the point of seeing them, probably started to smell them and hear them. So you guys will be able to act as normal. For now, until you guys can get out of the staircase, it's just gonna give them cover shooting.
Right.
Just because you're firing around a circular stair.
Do you guys want to fight from
Don't
inside the
forget-
staircase, or do you want me to move forward?
Go tree.
Godry is there. He's just somewhere where you can't see him because there's no more space there.
Okay, I just didn't see him on the initiative chart.
Yeah. You were,
there you go. You're right.
you were correct. I forgot to roll for him. Godry's being slow
Could you,
today.
Morgan?
I'm a bad GM. What do you want from me?
You're a great GM, and don't let anybody tell you different.
All right.
You're the best GM whose campaigns I currently play in. Of all of the campaigns I'm currently playing in, you are my best GM.
So we're gonna start with a badger. I'm the best of only a one. What are you doing, sir?
Give me 1 second.
Exactly, Ari. What? Eggs?
I think you have to be an assassin to be able to have sneak attack on when you are before them, right?
That
Yes.
might be an assassin thing, but I
that's
know that's not normal for them. Yeah, you would have to have someone within 5 feet. So for this first shot, you would just be attacking normally. You wouldn't even have advantage because they would have seen Nathan at this point, so they know they're
right.
in combat.
I will say, grandson, are you moving in or are you staying there?
I'm moving forward. If you guys want me to move forward, I can do that.
Either way, I'm going to hold my action
Yep.
to attack when they get next to... when an enemy is adjacent to my grandson.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whether that's they approach him or he approaches them.
That's me approaching them and locking the door for us.
Yep, because he's next. So what you doing, Nathan?
All right. I am casting Shield of Fate. And I am stepping forward 5 feet.
Okay.
And I am taunting all of the dead things. And as my bonus action, I move around my dancing lights.
Okay, so you have 2 spells left.
Yep.
Did nobody
This is me keeping in mind.
Yep.
All right.
DM, would you like to look at the chat?
I absolutely saw that crit. Roll it for me.
And that's a crit on sneak attack as well.
Woohoo!
There's a lot of 1s,
But a lot of 5s.
but a lot of 5s and 6s. That is 27 points of piercing damage.
So you rolled a 27 to hit and a 27 for damage. How do you feel?
I would like to be able to make a second attack because of that perfectness.
No.
I think that's reasonable.
See, the other DM thinks it's reasonable.
I think it's totally reasonable.
The other DM will absolutely allow it in his campaigns.
No, he wouldn't.
There you go. See, he agrees with me in heart.
Can I make a persuasion roll versus the DM?
Sure. Roll a nat 20 again for me.
Really? If I roll a natural 20, will it work?
No.
Oh, come on! If I roll another natural 20, the likelihood of
No.
it happening is astronomically low.
But astronomically close.
Sorry, buddy. You missed your second shot.
All right. Fair enough. I'll take 1 crit. Did I one-shot kill it?
No.
Damn.
No. No, he's not even bloodied. And next is Gray.
I feel like this is the part where I would run away, but
I agree.
we are just going to go with the good old firebolt.
I'm assuming against the Zomboger.
Yeah. According to that, it hits.
It does.
Whoosh.
Whoosh with the fire. The zombie ogre is not happy it got hit by fire, but it is not dead.
All right, Bufferos, thank you very much, man. Have a good night.
Have a good one. After Gray is the first of the zombies.
Zombies. That's it, everybody. Pack them on in. Come on.
Zombie going to swing and attack
And
Nathan.
miss.
Absolutely misses Nathan. Zomboger's turn.
Come on, Zomboger.
Zomboger.
Zombercules, swing that mace.
Swing and a miss. Natural 20 AC. Come on. You got nothing. You got nothing.
He's got nothing.
I am the tank. You have nothing. I am the
zombie-
tank, and I can physically tank this one because I'm standing in front of my party in a doorway.
Be the door. Believe the door.
See the door. Be the
Become
door.
lifted on.
The door is the best worst spot you can have.
Yep.
Godry, I'm supposed to put those rolls on to the zombies. Oh, crap, you are one too. Damn it. Never mind.
It's okay. I have something planned for next round. You guys are going to like this.
The zombie ogre is bloodied. It's running out of fluids. Next is the 2 other zombies, which they can...
Come on. Come on. Come on in. Come on in. Bring it in tight. Bring it in tight. Come on.
Are you going to use Word of Radiance?
No.
Are you going to turn undead?
No.
Aw.
Control undead?
No.
What does Life Cleric have? So it's turn undead, and what else does Life Cleric have?
Features wise, preserve life.
Yeah.
As an action, I can restore 20 hit points to, any creatures within 30 feet.
The zombie walks up and
Except for,
slams
Godry.
Yep, because Godry dead.
Okay, as I see him trying to move there, can I burn my reaction to try to taunt that one to bring him, towards me rather than towards Godry?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, you big, dumb, ugly pile of bones. You don't want to head towards another pile of bones. You want to come after something with some meat. Come over here, you dumb, ugly, wait, he's Dwarven, right?
Yep, they look like dwarves.
You dumb, ugly son of an elf. 13. Basically, I was trying to see if I could get him to go here instead. Yeah!
Alrighty. So then it is now back to the top of the turn. It is Badger's turn.
I'll take another shot.
Taking another shot? You shouldn't do that. It's not the
Another
perfect
shot.
time to drink yet.
It's always the perfect time to drink.
Oh my god,
Almost
so
another
close!
crit!
Good job. How much damage into the ogre?
Not
You
as
know-
much as I'd like.
As much as everyone
14.
chastises the champion fighter as a white bread vanilla fighter subclass, every time I see someone roll a 19, I'm like, I don't know. I beg to differ.
Right,
Yep.
right. I was legitimately
I don't
just
think-
thinking, what would a dip into? That'd be a 3-level dip.
It'd be a
just
3-level
get
dip. But
it. No, is 3rd level when you get the expanded crit?
A third level.
for a champion, oh no, I think it might be higher than that.
I think it's higher than that.
6.
Yeah. Oh well.
But I can check it later.
Okay. Is it my turn? Is it my turn? Is it my turn?
Assume a badger's done.
That's all I can do.
So then, yes, it is.
Okay. Oh, I could have dropped it there and caught him anyway. We're gonna go with here.
Sparkly, sparkly. Shimmer, shimmer.
I am using my racial and thus my innate and thus not a spell slot fairy fire.
There you go.
So there is now advantage for attacking every single target in this room for the next minute.
Nice.
Improved critical is 3rd level. Okay, so it would be a 3rd level dip. That's not the worst thing, because for 3 levels, to do a 3-level dip, you're getting improved critical and second wind
Action surge.
and action
second
surge. Oh, that's tempting on every character ever.
Oh yeah, champion was one of the ideas for Luther. If I wanted to go straight in weapon damage.
And a combat style, yeah. So I mean, especially as an archer, now you're getting you can take archery, so you have a +2 to hit, improved criticals, action surge, and yeah, I mean it's a bit, but if you're starting at a 5th level campaign, start with 3 level, for any martial character, 3 levels of champion and then 2 levels of whatever you actually want to play. It's not. You could do worse. I'm just saying you could do worse. All right, so I don't get to act again this turn. However, I still have my armor class, and everyone has advantage on every target in this room that's a bad guy for the next 10 rounds.
Just to clarify, to do this, you are dropping your shield, so you would have an AC of 18 again.
Oh, because they're both concentration.
Correct.
Shit. Well, I said I'm doing it, so I'm going to do it.
Okay. No worries. Just making sure you know.
Big dumb fighter jock forgot that they're both concentration spells.
It's okay. It's Gray's turn now.
All right. Gonna stick with the fire. Now you said we have advantage.
You have advantage.
You do have advantage.
More whoosh. 9 more points. I just swing another low firebolt.
Yes, you do. And that absolutely hits and absolutely does the full 9. Here, he is burning real good and smells like he's been burning really good.
Yay!
Woo!
And just looking terrible. Next after him is zombie number 1, the first zombie to go. Nope, no, you're definitely not that.
He's
nor are
dead.
you
He's dead. It
invisible.
says so. I'm just counting on Godry to have advantage and just wreck everything in this room for us at this point. Hi, Sadie.
Well, whether you had the shield of
Yeah, apparently
or
it didn't
not.
matter.
And 7 points of damage.
Okay.
As the zombie just kind of grabs onto you and bludgeons you as it's grabbing.
I will make a concentration check because, that's just a 10 regardless.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Sadie.
Swing and we're good.
Nice. Next is Zombarcules here, who is
Come
not
on,
feeling so
Zombarcules.
Zombarcules anymore.
And Mercury's is feeling toasty.
Yeah, he's feeling toasty and battered. He
Swing and a miss.
misses. And now for the show you've all been waiting for, Godry. And by that I mean we're waiting until we get around the Badger so Badger can blow the zombie's head off or something.
I know, right?
It's coming.
I mean, I might actually get to swing once this time.
Oh, now wait on that crazy talk there.
I know. Who'd have thunk at a cleric that actually swings?
Alrighty. Let's see. Does it happen? You see Godry stab the zombie ogre in the stomach once, and as the zombie ogre leans down a little, he stabs you right in the eye socket and just kind of swirls it around a little bit, and you see the zombie fall the rest of the way over.
Nice. I knew you could do it, Godry.
And that is Godry's 2 actions and attacks. Now the zombies get to go. Which, now that the big guy's gone... Oh, no! That was not what I meant to do. The zombie that you angered is moving forward.
I mean, that's legit. Doesn't matter. We still have advantage on everybody. I'm good with this.
It looks like he's got a purpose in mind.
He's thinking about dolphins. What?
He said purpose, not porpoise. And his purpose in death is to munch on the person that called him an elf. He was a little too upset to hit said person.
Stupid elfling.
Next zombie. Doing the same thing.
Come on, zombies. Bring it. Oh, that hurts.
He brought it. Let's see what
Now,
happens
I'm
when
glad
I roll.
I dropped that spell because it would have done nothing so far.
It saved you once earlier, and that's
Yep.
all it's done so far. And you take 5 points of bludgeoning.
Okay.
Next
concentration.
is your concentration, and that is the last of the zombies. It goes back to the Badger's turn.
Oh, I'm re-rolling. Re-rolling.
Using your last fate point.
Using my last fate point. It's for the party.
Significant improvement of 0.
I apologize. Why is he making concentrations? Oh.
A fairy fire.
Can I use what?
So nobody gets advantage anymore.
I do. Oh, I don't get advantage, but I do get sneak attack if I hit because I'm targeting the one right there.
He gets sneak attack because all of them are targetable. And gives sneak attack.
Ooh.
And he hits.
Oh, I still hit.
You hit with
Yes.
3?
He has to roll a 1 to miss them.
Are you sure?
Yes. Because you're a 5 plus 2, which is 7. And they have a AC of an 8.
Which means a 1 will hit them.
Except 1's auto miss
That's
on
fair.
weapon attacks.
Yay, thank you for the fate point. I'm back to 1.
Oh, my. Not bad. 15 points piercing.
The zombie's
It's to
head
me.
jerks back as you shot him, and
Oh, no, to him. Okay, good.
it slowly rolls back forward and is still looking directly at
Damn,
Nathan.
he survived.
That's okay.
Le Gray's turn.
No?
Nathan's turn. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, Gnathan's turn. Gnathan is going to bring some pain.
Wait, I thought you were supposed to accept pain, not bring it.
I mean, I can do both. Switch hitting. More importantly, I have Spiky Bat. I no longer have advantage, but I have a Spiky Bat. And that's a hit.
Yes, it is.
And that's 5 points of bludgeon.
You smack him upside the head. You see his head hanging loosely off to the side, and he's just kind of lying there, but he's still moving forward. He is not dead, sir. He is just super duper bloodied. Gray's turn.
Gray, finish
Unless
him
you
with
have
your
something
fire
else.
thing.
Okay, I chase it with a little bit of fire.
Bring the fire chaser. Oh, almost a 20. That would have been amazing.
See, I just love fairy fire for crit fishing, right? Like, just multiple targets, advantage on all of them, just go crit fishing for days.
You see it burning. It looks like it's going to fall, but it kind of stays standing.
Well, we'll have to fix that in a minute.
And now it is the zombie in the middle attacking Gnathan.
Oof.
And hits Gnathan. Does really crappy damage, but he does hit you. He just scratches you a
Well,
little.
there is
Just
no
a little.
concentration that I need to maintain because I've already failed. So, even though I'm not sure how to remove that spell effect.
I'm not sure why the spell effect is staying on you either.
It's fine. We know that I'm not concentrating on it.
I was gonna say, I think you just go into effects and then turn it off.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a good idea. I'll do that. Ow! Oh wait, no, that's Godry attacking them. Okay, much better. Much better.
All right, buddy. You only survive if you roll a 20.
He does not.
He does not.
No.
The wrong one disappeared.
Right?
And that was both of Godry's attacks. Next is zombie in front of you. Guess what he's going to do?
Lay down his arms and surrender. In this case, actually just like pop them out of his sockets and just put them on the ground. No?
That would be pretty
Something
funny.
like that. Jesus, this guy really doesn't like you. He really
I
hated that
insulted
thing you
him
said
well.
earlier.
I insulted him well.
Yep, 6 points of bludgeoning damage. That one I forgot to put the targeting on the right person.
So that's a bloodied.
And the other zombie is going to attack Godry because he's still next to Godry. Okay, that hurts a little. And he critically hits Godry, taking a big old bite out of the side of Godry's face. Isn't that tasty? Top of the order, Badger. What you doing? You're watching your grandson bleed in front of you.
That's fine. I got this.
Grandson!
I'm fine.
Don't worry. I shall take him out for you.
I'll rub some dirt in it later. Kill the zombies. As he shoots me in the back of the head by accident.
No, you don't want that. He'll get sneak attack damage
I know.
Yeah, I do get sneak attack damage if that's the case.
because he's within 5 feet of an ally, and not even counting himself.
That's true.
Are you doing anything else there, Badger? You wanna use a fate point to re-roll that or anything?
Hey, you know what? I forgot. I keep forgetting about fate points. I am going to use a fate point.
All right.
Much better.
Just a little. Just roll your damage, sir.
Oh, God. Only
I
10.
mean, going deep on that damage there.
He was the one that already was dead. Just decided not to stay that way. You literally shot him in the other eye socket, and he falls over. He's not getting back up.
Nice.
1, 2,
Yep, you move
3
him at all?
4, 5
get there.
on my turn.
Are you moving, Badger?
I'm still here during your turn if you wanted to move or not move, but that's where I'm going to be going on mine.
I guess, yeah. Do we know there's still other enemies in here?
Yes,
You
you know
can
there's
still
more
hear-
fighting.
Yeah, you can still hear more fighting because you can hear Godry fighting something.
Got it. Then I guess I'm going to step down there just so I have a shot.
Yep. And then you go and get yourself some advantage there, Gnathan.
I do. Because fighting with advantage is where it's at.
It's you're done. That advantage proved to be useful.
Well, I mean, it did.
Just be thankful these aren't Strahd zombies.
Oh, I know. Those things are bastards. No, I mean, anybody that would send Strahd zombies after a party that's under level 5, I mean,
Yeah,
that's a
horrible.
dickish thing for a GM to do.
All right, and I believe next is Gray. What is Gray doing?
I duck through the door. And then try to do the flambe thing.
Flambe. It hits.
And it tickles them.
Sort of.
So where the damage is.
I flip open a Zippo and throw it at him.
All right, and next is Godry. Yep, next is Godry. Godry
Who now
goes
has
back to
advantage.
full. And Godry is going to use that advantage to the fullest, hopefully.
Go, 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 Godry.
All right, what is the 21/13
I am not 100% sure why it's doing that.
or the 24/16? That's not like health, is it?
No, it's not. Like, I know 15 is what we're actually rolling, and I'm not sure what the /7 is for.
Is it this other roll? Is it just showing both rolls?
Oh, just showing if it's
It's probably doing the math for, yeah, it's probably doing the math for both rolls when we're rolling for the advantage.
Right.
All right.
yeah, because it didn't do it when I just used a singular.
Right. Yeah, I think it's the advantage. It's showing you the other result in the advantage disadvantage category.
And you see Godry stab it to death. Well, it's
Yay,
dead already.
Godry.
You see Godry deanimate the animated corpse.
Stab it to more death.
He would probably love to, but it's a futile at this point. All right.
I think that's definitely what it is because I went back to the one that was where I rolled 2 6s and it's showing a 9/9, which would be the modifiers. So, yeah, it's just showing both die rolls. So the chat knows what we're talking about. If I pop this window in a little bit, you can see that in our chat, when it's showing results, it's saying hits 21/13 on the zombie, and we were trying to figure out what this second number here was. Okay. Okay. Ah, okay. So, who's hurt aside from me?
A grand total of you.
A grand total of me. Okay. All right. Then I guess this is just for me. Preserve life, 20 points. And now I'm back to full. Okay.
So, having disposed of the dead, the dead things.
Enter our heroes, stage left.
So you're going downstairs again?
No,
Or are you going up?
we're looking in this room.
Okay. This room does not have any doors, as you can see. This room either has a staircase going down, or you can go back up the stairs that you came from.
Do we want to go down and check a room on the first floor that we've missed? Or do we want to go up and check an entire floor that we haven't uncovered yet?
I would just clear the room just to get it done, assuming it's
Yeah,
on
we
the
might
room.
as well clear.
So, down then?
Yeah.
Okay. Fireflies first. And Morden's like, you guys keep bouncing around on the maps on me.
I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing over here? Ah, there you are. I'm just trying to get you all into one spot so I can move you all over to the correct area. Because you guys are having an encounter again.
No!
Wouldn't know yet.
We keep encountering things.
Ba-dum-ps.
I have no idea why it switched to the old one, but that is fine.
It's alright, I'll update me again. It's just because I only did the local token. I didn't do the global token.
I assume this was the order you guys were coming down the stairs. And you are having your
Oh, that's not
clockwork.
good.
Clockwork nightmares show up.
They're not clockwork nightmares anymore. They're happy little glowing butterflies.
So as you come down the stairs, you hear muttering, like you're hearing somebody talking. Nathan, being in the front, hears it the clearest and can actually understand what he's saying because Nathan
Speaks dwarf.
speaks Dwarvish.
Nathan speaks dwarf.
As Nathan comes completely down the stairs and the fireflies, spread out throughout the room, because I'm assuming that's what they would do.
That's what they always do. What do I hear in dwarf?
You're hearing him essentially say, "I didn't run away. I didn't run away. I fought bravely like everyone else. I didn't run away."
I agree, 100%. He said, just saying dwarf. You made the right call.
You see what looks to be he's definitely there. Like, it's definitely a body, but it has like some spectral to it. Where his armor and his like skin and everything would be normally, everything has a blue hue except for where his heart was. Where his heart was, you see like a red light radiating from it.
Okay.
I
unfortunately know what that is.
Say that again?
I unfortunately know what that is.
Yeah. He jumps up as he hears you speak and looks directly towards you guys. When you're looking in this room, you see that there are other dwarf bodies around. You see some that are in the armor that Godry is wearing.
Mm-hmm.
You see some in the armor that he is wearing. They are not the same. Not exactly the same, I should say. They do look mildly different. Mostly in this case, it's mostly the blue and the shields.
Right.
Godry's shield is a crescent moon, and his shield looks more closer to a tower shield that is probably would have been made out of metal plates.
Okay.
He looks over to you. His eyes are completely red.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they are glowing out of his socket, like there is no actual eyes there.
Yep.
Who are you? Where did you come from? How did you get here? More importantly, how did you come from upstairs?
We walked down the stairs. How else would you come from upstairs?
But you shouldn't have been able to get up there.
I know. Crazy, right? Anyway, I'm completely agreeing with you. I don't think you did anything wrong. I mean, you did what you had to do. You did the right thing at the time. I mean, nobody can hold you accountable for that.
What do you mean? You have no idea what I did.
Well, did you do it?
Well, no, you disengaged. You didn't run away. You disengaged. That's fine. I'm obviously bluffing and obviously doing it poorly, but I'm trying.
If you want to, you want to roll deception check?
I'd rather not roll because as long as I haven't rolled yet, I haven't failed.
You want to roll your deception check now, sir?
I
No,
believe it would be called a tactical withdrawal.
because as soon as I roll, I'm going to fail. There we go. An 8. See, I was doing so much better before the roll.
He's looking at you, like eyeing you up, like you're not a dwarf. What are you
You're
doing
right.
here?
I'm also not a drow, and I know that's confusing. Believe it or not, I'm actually a gnome.
Oh, that's got to be a persuasion.
That I'll give you persuasion because you're actually not being deceptive.
Right? Like, all I'm doing is telling the truth. So any insight check he makes, I got to auto pass that because I'm not actually lying.
You're not lying. It's more to see how much of this he can actually believe.
22,
somehow he
I am
absolutely
incredibly
believes you.
believable. So, obviously you can tell that we're no stranger to weird shit happening.
That shouldn't be possible.
I agree. Much like we shouldn't have been able to come from upstairs, and you saw that happen too.
But you're literally watching him slowly like sliding down the wall as like he's just giving into his confusion.
Okay, so now that you're properly primed, why don't you tell me your side of what happened so that we know what actually went down?
I closed the door and locked it.
Yeah, to make sure everything inside was safe, right?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to leave this up to you. This is entirely your choice. You can either accept the fact that you did what you needed to do and everything's fine and you're done, or if you want, we can go in with you and help you recover the situation. What would you prefer? Do you want to just be done here? Do you and like we can take over guarding the door from now on, or do you want to go do you want to go back in and we can come in with you this time?
Give me a persuasion check.
All right, this one I got a shot. Come on. Do I get advantage because he's confused AF?
I'll give it to you. 'Cause you're
Yeah.
confused him.
Always remember, players, ask if you can have advantage. 20 total.
With a 20, he like as he's sitting there listening to you, he's nodding his head, he's thinking about it, and you're noticing the more and more that he's thinking about it, the less and less the red glow is there.
Yeah.
After a couple of moments of thinking about it, you see him pull out a key.
Uh-huh.
And as he's pulling out the key, the glow completely fades and his body crumbles to the ground.
Yeah. I just persuasioned a sword wraith out of existence.
Nice.
You absolutely persuaded a sword wraith out of
I turn back
existence.
towards the party
Well done.
and I walk over all proud of myself, strutting in, and I pick up that key.
Okay.
Doop, doop, doop.
You pick up the key.
Yep.
What's in between you there was actually a table. There are chairs in
It's
this
fine. I
room.
walked around the table. It's
Yeah. Yep, no.
Okay. All right. So I pick up the key, and now we're going to head over this way, and I'm going to approach the door, which is locked.
Mhm.
That I'm sure we don't have to unlock now because
Nope.
I have a key.
Yep.
Would you guys like to try to join me?
Following you.
Whew, one less fight. Oh, that was good.
Yeah. See, the part that I find, the part that's funny about this is everywhere he's gone, it's been an instant combat because they're all creatures that are dumb. He's starting to run into the smart ones now.
Yep. Now I'm fighting them my way with brain powers.
So, you open the door
And we
you
roll
go
for
into
initiative?
the room. You do not.
I do not open. I do not go in first. I send in my lightning flies.
The door opens towards you.
Okay.
As soon as you open the door, the first thing you will see
Is rolling for initiative.
is a group of skeletons in the same armor you saw the other dwarf in fall forward into the room. They are clearly dead, but they were clearly piled in front of the door. You will see that the door has scratch marks on it, and you will see that some of the bones on the on their fingers have been like grated away from them scratching at the door.
Okay. So if I look over the bodies really quickly, did they unhappily die of old age clawing at the door, or were they beaten to death while clawing at the door?
You look at the bodies in the armor, and you are pretty sure that these people met a rather unpleasant end, that it was not from old age.
Guys, everything's going to be safe when we walk in this room. There's nothing to worry about whatsoever.
I think you're lying.
Do you want to roll an insight check against his his deception? Because I'm pretty sure he thinks he's lying.
No, I'm.
For the record, that deception is a 14.
I mean, you can absolutely just choose the autofill and just go, I don't believe you. But that's besides the point. Yep. Nathan steps in the room. You look into this room. It is definitely where a battle happened. You see a lot of corpses in this room. You see a lot of dwarves that look like they were fighting around the doorway, like there's the 10 feet to 15 feet around the door, and almost in a semicircle,
Okay.
trying to keep whatever was fighting out. And they were as they were dying, they were forced to fight back towards the door.
Right.
Given what happened and the conversation you just had, you can safely make the assumption that he was the only one that made it through the door, and he closed it, locking everyone else out.
Yep. That's okay.
I don't blame him one bit.
Now all of them are dead, and none of it matters, so that's okay.
Yep.
So this rubble over here, that's not like a tunnel coming in where the Oogie Boogies came in from. Okay.
No, that is just a section of wall that has collapsed as part of the combat. It's not enough to cause like the ceiling above you to be like exposing a hole or anything.
Okay. I'm gonna come over here to this not currently locked door.
Yep, not locked. You can open it.
I'm gonna wait till everybody is, ready for worse to happen, and I'm gonna open it.
And you open it up, and you see a familiar glow in the room.
Okay, so we have completed the area that we didn't get through
circled around.
before, right?
Correct. You've circled around.
How many statues are over here? Just the two, right?
Say it again.
There's only 2 statues here, not 3.
Correct. There's 2 statues here.
Okay.
These statues are basically dwarves. Since you hadn't asked last time, but these statues are basically dwarves made of stone. These are not jade.
Okay.
They more look like they're supposed to act as pillars than where the other ones are decorative.
That's reasonable. Okay. I think we go all the way up now. I think we've
agree.
we've taken care of this mess.
Yep. I will bring you guys up to hold number 3.
Thank you, Mogwai.
And roll for initiative. Oh,
And roll.
No.
We're going.
Nope. No initiative rolls yet. Did I say that out loud?
Yet.
No, you didn't. We just imagined it.
Okay, good. Hopefully you can see all of your people up here.
No, I don't see mine.
Yeah, he's missing once again.
I disappear a lot.
Oh,
Apparently.
you were
Oh,
underneath me.
I was under. I mean, it's a good Saturday night, right? Okay, so. All right. Doors unlocked.
You have seen a little bit into this room because of the break in the wall further to your south. But yes, these doors are unlocked. If I'm assuming you are opening them.
Boop.
Yep. You open them. You look in. This room looks like it was a. What's the right way to put this? It looks like it was a like an antechamber of sorts. Like before it led into a main hallway.
Okay.
There really didn't even look like there was furniture or anything in this. It looked like it was bare. It might have had some like paintings or something like that on the walls, but the floor is pretty clean outside of like the dust.
Okay.
There is a break in there. There is a break in there where the wall section fell, as you have seen.
Okay.
And you absolutely do see the two other soldiers.
The two other soldiers, locked doors, and a little bit of a glow from
I
something
assume
down
you
here
can
that we
see the
can't
glow?
identify.
Yes, you can see the glow. The glow looks exactly like the glow from where the crown was.
Fate point to Badger.
Woo! Thank you, Mogwai.
Can I peek through the keyhole on that and see what I see?
Yes, you can. About 10 feet in front of you, you see a wall.
Nice.
Excellent.
Okay,
Good
guys.
wall.
Over here, there's two more shield wraiths or sword wraiths, maybe shield wraiths. I don't think I can talk these off the ledge, so
Should I try to
So
maybe
to clarify with these two, you are actually looking at their backs. They are not looking towards you. They're looking at the door. You also see that the door is barred on this side.
are they just like staring at it? Are they undeadly
They-
beating on it? Are they, what seems to be their
No.
intention?
They're looking at the door. They are not. You're too far to actually hear anything if they are talking to each other in whispers. But it mostly looks like they're paying attention to the door. They're
Okay.
not. They're not like mindlessly beating on it or anything like that.
Also, we have a major negative encounter that got added to the list as well. Oop,
Okay.
just so you know.
No
we-
problem.
So I pop that door open behind us real quick.
Mhm.
I'm saying this to them.
Oh,
okay.
I popped that door open real quick and I looked. It looks like that hallway might come through to the back.
Okay. Do we want to sneak around that way, or do we want to sneak in through the rubbles?
If nothing else, it might give us a little bit better of the room,
It
better
might.
view,
I'm okay with this.
or
Yeah,
it'll
there
start.
When we
Start.
get to that point, I can always try to take one out before everyone charges in. Or at least hurt one.
Yeah.
Or it'll start a fight that we're going to get into anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying is if we're going to get into a fight, I might as well try to hit one before.
All right.
I'll
Now I
charge
can
in.
see the glow over here. What do we see?
So the glow that you're seeing there, it looks like it's actually a beam of light coming out of a crack in the floor,
So that's right below.
directly
Or that's
below.
right above
Oh,
the
okay.
crown.
It is where the glow is from the crown. You are pretty sure that this is the same glow. So that also means you're pretty sure that Godry can't stand in that light.
Right.
But that light is, I mean,
It's-
But
the hole there
a very
is
small circumference.
yeah. That light covers about a 10-foot area. And when I say
So-
cover,
does
I mean it
anyone
barely does.
have
So
a
me.
mirror?
I'm No, I don't. I'm actually going to try to do the stealth thing.
Yeah, I'll get stealth as well.
All right, because here's what I'm thinking.
I can try to spit shine my crowbar.
Yeah, not so much.
Greg, you trip on your stealth, sir.
Yes.
Lucky for you, you didn't make it more than 5 feet before you fell, but you did
I
fall
got
prone.
a 14.
You have a 14. All right.
Because I'm thinking that we know that this light is like undead proofing. So if we can reflect the light at the doors and or the shield rates in front of the doors, maybe it makes them pop.
I mean, again, I can spit shine my crowbar, but that's about all I got.
So you will. This happened in the first time you encountered the light with Godry.
Right.
Godry walked directly up to it, but never got past it. You guys didn't try and force him through, but you did kind of see if he would step into it. And he put his hands out, and it was like a physical barrier for him.
Right,
Okay.
but what happens if we summon that barrier inside one of their skulls, basically? Like, what if we reflected it as a beam in through their skull? I mean, then you've got a massive pull through your head.
And
The other
if
option-
nothing else, it could just keep them at range while Badger turns them into a quiver.
The other question, funny, Nathan, do you happen to have like a glass vial on you? Kind of medium sized, maybe?
I have like a potion vial, but I think we put some goop into it. I'm not sure it would be on my other body.
Because if he would reasonably have a vial, I would like to put some ball bearings in it, and maybe we can make a disco ball.
He does not, but I'm pretty sure you have oil flasks because I believe you come stock standard with a lantern.
I do have a lantern.
Now, you're also talking about a fairly small vial. Like, we're not talking like, oh, cool, I got a
Kind
thing
of
that fit.
lantern does he have?
I
Hey,
believe
hooded.
he is a hooded, if I remember correctly. But
Yep,
you-
hooded lantern.
Okay.
so that's 60 feet in one direction for the light.
Can
Right,
you
right.
bless my
Right.
light?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. My fingers aren't as good as this as they were an hour ago. But hooded lanterns have a mirror in them. It's part of how they bullseye the light in one direction. It's not large and it's not perfect, but I could try to disassemble the lantern.
I hold out the lantern. Go for it.
The problem is the only tools I have to do this with are smith's tools, not
Here, I hold up my
tinkerers.
crowbar. Here you go.
That's worse.
So
Hold out some pitons.
I'm
Here you
gonna ask you, what do you think should be your check for this?
Terrible.
I
By
hold
that
out
I mean,
tools.
what skill are you trying to use to make this work?
The problem is it's tool use, and I don't have the tools.
What type of tools
That's
would it
why
be?
I'm asking what you are attempting to use from your current character.
Which would mean it would be a dexterity check without the tools,
Okay, hold on.
which is
Let's-
not going to work.
Then, if you have the knowledge, why don't you walk me through it, who is a little bit more nimble with my fingers?
Okay.
Like-
Um.
An extremely amount
So
more nimble.
you would normally have disadvantage because you have no idea really what you're doing. He knows what he's doing, but he's at disadvantage because he's got, logs instead of fingers now.
Yeah. Because
And because of that, I will allow you to roll normal because he's aiding you. So give me a dex check.
Can I use thieves' tools? Will that
No.
help me in any way?
It will not.
yeah,
The thieves'
not really.
tools aren't really there for like removing things like that. They're like cutting wires and maybe playing with other traps
So-
like style stuff.
So you would agree that this is removing an item from an enclosed space that you no longer want in that area, correct?
Yes, but you don't have the correct tools for that.
I would like to petition that an herbalism kit. Technically, I'm removing an object from a tight space that I no longer want in there if someone gets hurt.
Yeah, but that would be like clippers and tweezers and
You're
scissors
not-
and not really.
like, You don't have any. You don't have screwdrivers or metal cutting tools because you are absolutely destroying this lantern to get to a mirror. And what you do is you absolutely destroy the lantern to get to the mirror. So
With
your
a
lantern
10?
is gone.
But we have a mirror.
You have a shard of the mirror. It's not the full mirror.
There you go.
It could probably.
Okay.
It's probably like 2 or 3 inches tall. It's
That's
not a
okay.
big-
That'll be enough because it's just a point. We just want a point because then they can't move with the point. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to hold the mirror and I'm going to see if we can do that. But I'm going to sneak in here and I'm not going to do anything until after you take your sneak attacks.
I would like to
roll your
I'm assuming I
dexterity.
broke
Roll
my
your stealth check.
Oh,
Yeah.
bloody Christ. Really?
I mean, you're trying to sneak behind them
I'm assuming I
in
broke my
full
stealth.
in heavy armor. Say
You
that
know
one more
what?
time.
I'm not going to. I'm just going to wait here until after they do that and then I'll run in and try to do it.
I'm assuming I broke my stealth, so I'm going to re-stealth.
You absolutely broke your stealth, and
I'm
you
gonna use the
absolutely
fate
think
point.
you absolutely got a 10 because you can't critically fail that.
Right.
There you go.
Much better. 27.
All right. So yeah, you're absolutely stealthy.
Okay. All right. So I'm just killing him. I'm just shooting for it.
All right.
All right, I'm
roll
a
your
target.
roll your initiatives for me.
Yay!
You're absolutely getting the surprise round.
Move this fucking dice out of the way. 19 hits.
Does it?
Apparently.
Yep, it hits.
No effect.
17 points of piercing damage.
Yep. You hit him. You see the arrow go in. It looks like it's done what it's supposed to do. But it absolutely, for some reason, looks like the arrow kind of came back out a little bit.
Because your bow's no longer magical.
But so it seems like it did nothing, or seems like it just did less than I expected.
It feels like it didn't do as much as it should have.
Understood. And then bonus action, I would like to hide again.
Yep, absolutely. Roll your stealth.
27.
Okay. I'm not going to roll perception against that because it's
No.
probably not going to matter in a minute.
Step out, shoot, step back in.
Yep.
All right. And then 8.2. I rolled a gray roll.
You did. That was a
You
very
did.
gray initiative.
So Godry is going first. Godry can get to here. And that's Godry's turn. The 2 sword wraiths rolled higher than everybody else, but they are in the surprise round, so they're doing nothing.
Right.
It's Nathan's turn.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I use my shard of mirror to try to reflect the light at this guy. Because that way there's no chance of the beam hitting Godry.
Okay. Give me. I was been trying to think of what to do for this whole time. No, I'll allow you to use strength. Give me a strength check.
Okay.
It's mostly just you trying to actually aim it.
Right.
I'm not going to make you use dexterity for it because it's nothing that crazy.
14.
14. So you aim it in that direction with him, and you do strike him with it. You don't
Okay.
get it. You get it onto him, and you're kind of playing with it.
Right.
When you do get it onto him, what you actually do is you push him directly into the door.
Oh, nice.
For the second that it was onto him, like he was pushed directly away. It doesn't look like he hurt him, but he was pushed him directly away. Where the beam actually ends is in between the two of them, so the beam did come off of them for the moment.
That's fine.
Basically, I'm going to treat this as your action is you trying to aim it.
Okay.
If that's
Yep. No, that works for me.
All right. So then on the next is Badger. What is Badger doing?
Not getting sneak attack damage. Oh wait, no, he should.
He still has advantage because he started the combat with the attack, and he's going to get a sneak. He's going to get another round of advantage because he's hidden.
I'm going to attack the same one.
Okay. Yeah, that was the one that got pushed back against the door.
Dude, Firbolg Rogue makes a hell of a good archer. It really does.
You know what? I'm going to... You're right. The other one did get pushed, so I'm going to attack the one that hasn't been pushed.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep this one pinned back so we can fight them one at a time.
I was about to say, crowd control, there's no point in killing the guy that's controlled.
Exactly.
I was thinking, kill the weak one, but... Nah. Why did it do that? That was weird. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. 9.
That misses.
Bonus action hide. Behind the pillar.
Okay. Roll your stealth. 18. All right. Wow. Gray's turn. What does the Gray do?
All right. I do have a line of sight towards the one that's not pinned, correct? From here?
Yes. Yeah, you have line of sight. You have line of sight to all of them. Did I not put the... I don't think I did. I forgot to put the pillars in. That's okay. It's no big deal. We'll just count them as they're there for purposes. You can't stand on them. There you go. You can shoot around them as needed. That is a miss, sir.
I guess I will accept the miss.
Yeah.
Don't got this.
Don't got this. Don't got this. Now it is back to the top of the initiative, which the top of the initiative is the undamaged Sword Wraith Warrior, who's going to turn around and go, "Oi, what are you doing?" And is going to swing at Godry because Godry is directly behind him.
Yep. There you go. Pillars are in.
Thank you, sir.
I'm helpful.
They are wearing what looks to be plate mail, with battle axes and shields. They also do have a longbow over their shoulder, but they are definitely not using it. He's going to take his first swing at Godry.
Hopefully his last swing at Godry.
He hits Godry.
Don't hit Godry.
Does 6 points of damage. He's going to use Martial Fury as his bonus action, and he's going to swing again. What this does is give you guys advantage when you attack him.
Yay!
But he gets to swing again because of that. And he hits Godry again. And that is his action. Next is Godry. We have officially hit Monsturbation stages. Oh wait, no, we've been there.
Oh, we've been there the whole campaign. I am a huge fan of Monsturbation.
Godry's going to swing back. And miss. Godry's going to swing back. And miss. Godry does not hit, but Godry does heal.
You got this, Godry. I have faith in you.
The other Sword Wraith Warrior is going to step up to here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he is not currently pinned by you because you did not roll high enough to keep it on him.
Right. That's fair.
in that short period of time, and he's going to try and swing at Godry as well. He does not have his shields on him, so his AC is slightly lower. He is just holding his axe in both hands. He's gonna use Martial Fury as well, and he's gonna miss on his second swing. So
Nice.
It is up to Nathan.
Okay.
Nathan, what you
So do I now have advantage to try to hit him with the beam of light?
You do not. You're gonna treat this like a regular ranged attack.
Oh.
You're just using your strength modifier.
Like a regular ranged attack or like a regular attribute check? Because if it's like a regular ranged attack, I have advantage.
Why?
Because you just said that all attacks against him have advantage because he used his fury.
Right. Brain. Sorry. Yes. You know what? You are correct. You would have advantage on him because he's not actively dodging or defending himself. He's full
All
on
right.
attacking.
20.
20. He is
Get
slammed
back
against
in
the
that
wall.
door.
Yep. He is slammed against that wall.
And for my free action, for my bonus action, I will, maneuver some fireflies.
Move the lights. Roll me a d6, please. And roll me a
Bam.
d10, please. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Next is
Do I feel like I
Badger.
have him like pinned, like on his action? He's not going to be able to move forward this time.
You have that right over the red
Cool.
in his chest. Like no matter what he does, he cannot move from that spot until you move your hands.
Guys,
Like-
I got this one. You get the other one.
Okay.
I'm going to remind you,
25.
you do have advantage. I mean, you hit, but crit fish.
Nope.
Nope.
All right,
Nope,
roll
nope,
your
nope.
damage, sir.
Nice.
17.
Nice.
Nice. All right. So
Bonus
yep,
action hide.
go for it.
They shall not know where they are being shot from. 21.
You are hidden. They absolutely do not know you're shooting them from the other side of that pillar.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
But it doesn't truly matter because you're just going to keep getting advantage anyway.
Mhm.
Gray's turn.
All right. I will continue playing with fire.
Yay, fire. 17 hits. This is absolutely looking like it's hurting you as you expected it to.
Great. Crit fish.
Right. Crit fish. You have advantage on the attack roll. So
Go
roll
fishing
another
for
attack and
criticals.
see if you get a 20.
Oh, okay.
Just throw a d20. If it's a 20, it's a crit. If not, it's not. Out of all of those guys,
No.
Gray sounds like he makes a good arsonist. I mean, really, this is just a trio of arsonists.
I mean, professionally, I'm a welder, not an arsonist.
Professionally, I'm a firefighter, but it doesn't mean I don't know how to make this work. I'm not. I'm joking.
I'm more likely to set myself on fire than other things.
I've seen the unintentional shaving. I can support that.
He's attacking Godry again. Same as before, using Reckless.
That's good. We'll
Martial
keep
Fury.
advantage.
And he misses his second swing. He hits with his first. Godry is now going to fight back. Because this is Godry's time. No, don't attack yourself, Godry. That's bad. Good roll to hit. Bad roll for damage. But that's okay. really good roll to hit.
Nice. Bad roll for damage.
Yep. You will note that Godry seems to be hitting him as hard as he would normally.
Right. Good to know.
Next is Nathan.
All right. I'm going to do the shooty pushy thing.
Okay. Yeah, you're basically just rolling to see if you can keep it on him, correct?
Yep. And with a 12, that's pretty iffy.
On a 12, it rolls off of him, and he's not pressed against the wall anymore.
That's fair.
I'm basically keeping it as if you can roll over his AC, you keep him pinned. If you don't, he gets to act normal.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So next is Badger.
Taking a shot. $16.
Just enough to hit.
Nice.
17.
Nice. He is absolutely bloodied, and he looks like he's ready to fall over.
Finish him.
I'm going to use the fate
next-
point to make another attack.
Okay.
$19.
Hits.
10.
He is still up.
Close, though. You're doing good.
The glow is fading, but it's still there.
If you had had another sneak attack, you would have got it.
I know, but I can't double
I
sneak attack.
know.
Bonus
I
action
wish you
hide.
could. Go for it.
Actually,
Every
if
single
I bonus
rogue
action
wishes you
hid
could.
and then attacked,
Say that again?
I can't like bonus action hide and then sneak attack again, right?
No, because it's the
No.
same turn.
It's still the same turn.
Well, still bonus action hide.
Yep. When you hide after your bonus act, when you hide after your attack, you're actually hiding. If you hide before you attack, you're breaking the fact that you're hiding to attack. So it's never worth it to hide first,
Right.
unless
You're hiding in order to gain sneak attack.
exactly.
Right.
Right.
So
right.
next is Gray.
Gray, finish him. You got this, Gray. Take the shot.
Okay, and I still get advantage?
Yes, because he did Martial Fury. You get advantage.
Okay.
I mean, it got you that
It
extra
hits.
point.
No, not much finishing.
Finish him. You see Gray pull his hand back and throw that little firebolt. It's not one of his biggest ones he's ever thrown, but it doesn't matter because he slams him right in the face with it, and the little bit of beard that he had left from after all the chops and burns finally dies down, and the glow is gone. He falls over dead.
Nice.
Woohoo.
Next on the list is Godry.
Field control successful.
Goji steps forward and is going to attack the one that was pinned. He's no longer pinned.
Right.
Godry's having a bad day.
I mean, it happens when you've been dead that long.
We all been there.
Don't worry about it, buddy.
Godry's getting swung back at.
Oof. Big oof.
And he's using the Martial Fury.
Less oof.
Less oof, you are correct. Godry is not using his shield, so that actually does hit. because Godry's holding it two-handed.
Right.
And that does another 11.
Yike! No tree. Okay, am I
Keeps
up?
up there.
Godry is not bloodied. Godry has looked better.
Okay. I'm gonna
Next
cycle our lights,
is Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna step forward.
Okay, so you're not playing with the lights anymore?
No, because I feel we don't need to because he's controlled, and I'd rather do things that are,
Productive.
pro murder. So I'm going to troll the dead because that cantrip will
trolls.
always be called that now, thanks to Gray.
Troll the dead. Okay.
Because I know he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
So
What am I
target must
rolling
succeed
against?
on a wisdom saving throw. DC is 14.
He
Jerk.
passes.
Okay. So nothing.
Okay. I mean, that's one of his worst saves. So,
Yeah. I mean, just a good roll. I can't help that.
Yep.
All right. I'm good.
So, Badger.
I take a shot, but I miss.
And the Badger misses.
Badger
wait.
misses?
That
doesn't
no,
seem
yes,
right.
Badger misses. I had to check.
Gray is on fire. No, Gray is throwing fire.
And rehide. 18.
You're good. Gray's turn. What does Gray do?
I'm gonna vary it up a little bit. I think I'm gonna throw fire.
Okay.
Did he use the?
You do have spell slots. You can go for more than cantrips.
Yes, he did. You do get advantage.
Gray is absolutely not allowed to ever give Cass trouble for throwing fire ever again.
It's a different Gray.
Different Gray.
Yeah.
There's a. It's the Imperial Gray, not the American Gray. Oh wait, or is it the other way around?
Other way
I
around.
can't remember.
This is the American Gray.
The American spelling of Gray has an A in it. The European spelling of Gray or the English spelling of Gray has an E in it. You remember this because American starts with an A and English starts with an E, and that's legitimately how I was taught.
That's hilarious. 4 points of damage. Not the beard.
You see, but the major difference is I'm setting the enemies on fire, not our allies' buildings.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's Godry's turn. Godry's gonna attack and miss. Godry's going to attack again and miss. All right, it's his turn. He fights back.
I'd really prefer it if he didn't.
I honestly wasn't expecting you guys to fight these two, which is funny.
I mean, you should have. We've fought everything that you haven't expected us to fight, and we haven't fought things you expected us to fight. So we're just all about subverting your expectations.
We even fought things you didn't think we could fight.
You're absolutely not wrong there.
Swing and a miss.
Godry's not wearing his shield at the moment.
Swing and a hit. Sorry, buddy.
Godry is absolutely not looking good at the moment. All right, so it is nope, Nathan's turn. I'm so used to Badger being first.
Troll the dead.
Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Tra-la-la-la-la, the dead. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Wisdom save, please.
12. Roll your damage.
Balls.
This does not look like it hurt anywhere near as much as it should have.
Not
You're not sure
even
if
a
it was
little
just
bit.
the first time you tried to do it, or if the creature doesn't take damage as normal.
I'm not good at being a cleric, guys. I need to go back to making machines out of metal.
Badger's turn.
Yeah, I rolled that normal. Sorry. Because I still get advantage, right?
Fish for your crit.
Fish for the 20. Oh my
But you got it.
Woo! Crit fishing!
All right, let's see. Let's see if you roll high enough.
27.
27's a
Close.
nice roll.
But he is not down. He is absolutely bloodied. Like, you see the arrow going a lot further than you thought it was going to because of all the other times you've shot him, but it just wasn't quite far enough to go into the big red glowy bit in the center.
Okay. Well, bonus action.
Bonus action, hide. You're absolutely hidden.
Super hidden. All right, Gray.
You're so hidden. You're now going before Nathan. Oh wait, I don't think it's gonna matter. Gray, your turn.
All right, and that is still with advantage, correct?
Absolutely
Correct.
Yeah, these guys are like in a tizzy because you attacked them from the rear.
Nice.
Bam.
And Gray, it was like lighting a fuse. You slammed him right in the chest where the glowy bits are. You see the beard just light on fire, and the rest of him goes with it.
Woo!
He falls over dead, like turning into kindling.
Not the beard.
As I said earlier, not the beard. You have officially killed yourselves 2 sword wraith warriors.
Nothing that I was afraid of fighting one of in the other room.
Yeah.
2 kill steals to my credit.
Yep. I am suddenly no longer worried about what the boss was supposed to be before I changed him because I was afraid of what he was.
So you're changing them back and making it harder for on us, is what you're saying.
No, I'm leaving it as it is. But yeah, that proved something to me.
That we're nuts.
Well, yes. I mean, Father Smith is absolutely nuts in your campaign, and so is Luther.
Oh, I love Father Smith. Father Smith.
But
is
did
so
that
cool.
really need proving?
No, that wasn't the
No.
major. But it
That
could have
wasn't-
been because those guys are tougher than they looked.
No, that wasn't the major encounter. There's a couple of other encounters. Now, the major, I have 2 major positive encounters and 1 major negative encounter to run through.
Correct.
But I am not there. We have not hit either of those yet.
Okie doke. So, can anybody handle these doors? Because, I mean, unless this key fits, I'm not going to be able to anymore.
So you see that the doors are barred from the outside. And by that, I mean, it's the door itself looks like it's locked if you look at it, because you can still see the keyhole.
Right. Okay.
But they've put a large timber in front of it and has anchored the timber to the floor, holding these doors closed.
Oh. We probably should have had those sword wraiths help us in this fight. Uh-oh. So,
Well, there are other rooms we could look at before we go through there, and maybe not go through there.
I mean, to be fair, whatever we want is probably on the other side of this double door. I'm okay with looking around and looking for other things. I'm just letting you know we are probably having to come back to this double door.
Yeah.
I mean, I has the feeling. Do I hear anything on the other side of the double door?
So there's no locks or anything on the double doors?
Say that again, Ace?
I apologize. There's no other there's no locks or anything on the double doors?
There is. You do see locks on the doors themselves. The door, whether you pick the lock or not, it doesn't remove the timbers that are in front of it, holding the door closed.
But the timbers are on this side, not the other side.
Correct. Yes, you would have to actively remove those first,
Or just burn them.
or you can burn them. Yes. The doors themselves look a lot like the doors from below. Now, by that I mean the doors you've ripped off the hinges, but these are definitely not the same metal. You are sure of that.
Okay.
They just have the same motif and everything on them.
Oh,
They are
okay.
not
That's
stone. They are still metal, but they are not the same metal that you were. They're not adamantine.
Can I make a smithing tools check to try to see what metal they are?
Sure.
What stat would you like me to use? Investigation? Sound reasonable?
Investigation sounds reasonable. Yes,
Advantage for smith tools?
absolutely.
Yeah, there's an up-down roll.
You're pretty sure these are steel.
Okay.
All right. So you guys trying to break through these doors? You checking around first?
Do we want to look around? Do we want to try to go through here? What are you guys
I would-
feeling?
I mean, in all honesty, you're probably right. The thing that we're looking for is on that side. But I would feel better knowing that whatever is on that side is all we have to fight when we go
Okay.
on that side.
All right, well, we've got a couple other doors we can check real quick.
And a few halls.
Unlock the door. Pop it open.
Yep.
Oh, we have made a terrible mistake.
So you guys open the door.
Yeah, we made a terrible mistake.
Inside, you see a skeleton in a wide-brimmed leather hat with a large trench coat of sorts, just a large overcoat.
Actually, I don't think we
basic
do.
clothing. You would see him around the. Oh no, you wouldn't.
No, we don't.
Pillar up. You don't see him yet. You would see him literally as soon as you step in. But you do see him once you've come into the room, because I'm assuming you would come in at this point.
Still don't.
Well, you
Hey guys, looks like the room's empty. We can all come in here. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about.
would see him from there.
Oh, I was wrong.
I closed the door.
Wait, don't lock me in here. Nathan.
Yeah.
Nathan all of a sudden gets a mental image, or really a feeling of greetings coming from the skeleton. It does not speak. You just kind of feel like it's saying hello, or giving the impression of saying hello.
I wave.
It nods at you.
Okay.
You get a mental image of being inside of a store and looking through wares.
Okay.
And then you see him open his coat, and you see vials, weapons, pieces of paper, and other things in there.
I stop and I hold up my coin purse and I point.
You get a mental image of. He nods and gives you a mental image of like a list and just like one of the check marks on there.
Hey guys, how do we feel about purchasing and trading items with a necromantic being?
Looks fun. Let's do it.
Okay.
After the last few days,
I mean, we've been walking around.
Because I
with
mean,
him,
as far as we know, he might not even be a necromantic being. I mean, with everything that's going on, this could very easily, be an orc. I don't know anymore.
Hey. Maybe it's Godri's brother.
It might be. Who knows?
It
Hi,
is
Mr.
absolutely
Merchantman.
It is absolutely human sized. You feel something push you out of the way.
Oh boy.
Yep. As soon as you tried to step into that space, you kind of felt like you just walked into something.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll stay over here. I can stay out of arm's reach. That's fine. I can respect your personal space.
He puts items down in front of him. It has a list here because I spent the time to actually type it out. Everybody should be able to see that, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these are the items that he lays down out in front of himself. And he just kind of puts his hands in front of him like this. And allows you to come towards him, but the space, if anybody tries, the space to his south and the space to his north, you step into those spaces, you are pushed away. But you can step into the spaces in here and here with no problem. Now,
Can I look at the 1 foot long hollow metal tube and try to figure out what it is?
yes, you can. 1 moment, please. Roll me a Arcana check.
Okay.
You're not gonna get you're not gonna be able to tell exactly what it is, but you will.
I'm not even going to be able to tell anything with a 4.
Yeah, with a 4, you have no idea what this is. You're not even sure why he's selling this junk.
What does this do? I normally really like things like this.
Can I walk up and try to inspect it myself?
Yeah, anybody can walk up to him. He actually, as soon as he sees you, as soon as you come into his vision, you get the same sense of someone saying hello to you in your head.
Hello.
To clarify, it's not really words. It's more feelings
Yep.
and a little bit of imagery.
I just yell hello back.
I like the merchant. I got to give you credit on this one. I like this idea. The bone merchant's a neat guy.
What he shows you is an image of in your head. He shows you an image of someone holding the pole up out in front of them towards a door and tapping it like that you would a chime.
Okay.
You hear a resonance come from it, and the door,
And the door opens. Okay. I think I know what that is. I think, unfortunately, I know what this set of goggles with dark lenses are, because that's always what it is.
Badger knows exactly what it is because Badger is wearing an identical set.
Yeah, exactly.
I just accidentally closed that list. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
This is a magic item that Nathan would definitely be interested in just because of its versatility. I point to the robe with various patches.
Oh, I know what that one is.
I know, and they're great.
I'd like to look at the bracers with skulls and feathers.
You know why I really like the robe with various patches? Do you know what one of the patches almost always is?
What's
a
that?
door.
It is possible. What you see is a mental image of a man wearing the robe, and on the robe there is one patch left. The patch looks like a string of rope. He pulls the patch out and flicks it, and in his hand is a 50-foot long set of hemp rope.
Nice. Okay. How many? But there's more than one remaining patch on the rope on this robe, right?
There is more than one patch remaining on this robe.
Okay.
That was just him showing you what it
fair.
does.
How much?
This robe. He shows you a mental image of 1,500 gold.
Ooh.
Now,
I show him a
your
physical
reaction was
image of only
similar.
500 gold, and I feel sad.
You okay? So you respond back to him in that he sends you a mental image of someone buying something from him and cutting themselves, and shows 50 gold. And then he sees the person do it again. It shows 50 gold.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, 1,000.
He notes
1,000 gold worth of bloodletting would be really painful.
He also shows the.
Craig, come over here.
He also shows someone. More specifically, you see it is a paladin come forward,
Uh-huh.
and you see the paladin become weaker and weaker. Their physical strength is degrading. And he shows 75 gold.
Okay.
You will see a warrior come forward, a fighter.
Uh-huh.
And the fighter and with the fighter, you glean from it that if he were to say give up his accent surge, he would gain 200 gold.
Okay.
You see a cleric come forward.
Uh-huh.
And a cleric gives up stamina. You see him physically becoming more and more tired. And he gives 300 gold. The final one is someone steps forward, picks up one of the scrolls that has the diamond encrusted on it.
Right.
Looks at it, asks a question that you can't understand because the bone merchant doesn't know the language.
Right.
And then pays a price. The price doesn't look like anything physically happened to him, but you see his emotional state disintegrate. He looks like he looks like he's lost everything. And he goes, 500 gold. You see the person use what is the scroll? Sorry, I forget what the name of it was. My bad. You see that person use a revivify scroll shortly afterwards to bring someone back.
Okay.
And the final person steps forward, and you see a pact scroll appear in front of him. The person signs it, and it appears that nothing happens, and you just hear the word. You hear the word come forward that says "soul," and it says 1,000 gold.
Oh my god. Oh my god. See, if I was in normal Nathan mode right now, I would totally sign a warlock pact to the bone merchant.
Yep. You see he says 1,000 gold. He looks at you specifically because you had that thought. And goes 4,000 gold.
Guys, I want to do something dumb.
Do it.
It'll mean we've got like, after I get the robe, we'll have like 2,500 gold on account that we can buy stuff with.
Do it.
If anybody wants anything.
Do it.
It's really dumb. I guarantee you this is really dumb.
I believe in you. Do it.
I'm doing it.
In front of Nathan, you see a scroll appear. Does Nathan read Infernal?
Of course not. And even if this was in a language he could read, he wasn't going to.
All right. Nathan does not read the contract.
Not at all.
Nathan signs the contract.
Yada, yada, yada.
Nathan
Scroll down,
does
tab.
not feel anything at the moment. Nathan does not feel anything is different about him. One thing Nathan does notice for the briefest moment was that the eyes light up for the bone merchant as soon as you finish signing.
Mhm.
And you
Which,
look
by the way,
for-
takes like 15 minutes because I got to sign the full name.
You absolutely do.
Yeah.
It's got to be a real contract.
Got to be a real contract.
At the end, after his eyes have flashed, for the briefest moment, you see what you think is a red thread going from your chest to his.
Okay.
And then it disappears.
Sure. I mean, what's the
You
worst
have
that could happen?
You have officially signed a contract with the Bone Merchant.
Yay! Do I get to keep a copy of the contract so I can read it later and realize I did it dumb?
You absolutely can, because the
Yay.
contract doesn't disappear.
Oh,
The
I'm going to
contract
roll it up.
sta-
I'm going to save it for later. Guys, this was a great idea. I don't know what I was worried about.
So, yep, you have 4,000 gold to spend at the moment on whatever you like. He also hands you the coin, the silver coin with the skull on it.
Okay. So I have a silver coin with a skull on it. I'm going to get the robe of the robe of many useless items. And you guys, whatever you want, you can spend the other 2,500. I'm good. I got a robe. I got a contract. I got a coin. I'm feeling great.
You see in your head that the coin, it shows a picture of someone like holding it like a rubbing stone
Uh-huh.
and rubbing the skull side,
Uh-huh.
and the Bone Merchant stepping out of a portal.
Ooh.
The coin will call the Bone Merchant once, because you see that
Right.
after he does that, the coin disappears.
Cool.
Now, Ace, what item were you looking at?
The bracer with skulls and feathers.
Bracers with skulls and stuff.
Skulls and feathers.
The bracers with skulls and feathers. Oh, this is a very Badger item. What you see is someone putting on the bracers in your head, and you can glean that this person is lying through their teeth, but is doing it remarkably well. So you feel like this will help you with deception. You also note that when the person appears to have failed finally, and the people are starting to become angry with him, the feathers ruffle a little bit and the skull on there kind of jiggles, and you see him change very similarly to the way you used to do as the druid into a raven and fly off to get out of so before he can be grabbed, getting away with whatever he was taking potentially, or just getting away because he can fly now and is safe.
What about the solid bronze and silver necklace?
Solid bronze and silver necklace. You see someone wearing the necklace. That person, you see the room filling with gas. The people around him are falling over, asleep or dead. You're not sure, but he is standing there breathing as normal. It does not appear to be affecting him while he is wearing the necklace.
Immunity to poison.
Nice. The blue cloak? Because I have a feeling that might be a gray item.
Yeah, that's what I was going to.
This one he picks up himself when you point it out, and just kind of gives it a little flick to make sure that you can see the whole thing. And what he shows you is a picture of a person standing in armor, just say chainmail heavy armor, who suddenly becomes incorporeal you watched like a orc run through them attempting to tackle them and go completely through them. They cannot be touched physically.
Neat.
He turns and swings at the orc, hitting him, but the mace passes completely through them instead of striking as it would normally. But you see a large bruise show up there as if he had been struck as normal, and that the force of the hit actually knocked the person over, knocked the orc over. So the attack does not. The attack looks like it still functioned, even though technically it never made contact, and it almost looks like there was a extra added force immediately after that, which pushed him to the ground.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I would definitely be interested in that.
For that, he looks at you, and you see 3,000 pop up in your head.
How much was the bracers with the skull and feathers?
He looks to you and shows 2,000.
Okay.
What's the clay pot?
The clay pot.
And the web pattern shield.
I mean, for what it's worth, you guys have 2,500 you can spend. That was my advance for the contract, and also I have 500 gold on me. I think we all have 500 gold on us, but so that's available for you guys too if you want. Because I mean, I think I just got a pretty good deal. I can't imagine that there's anything going to be wrong here.
When do we get 500 gold?
When you sold the statue to Dalton, you guys got 2,000 gold from him for it, so you broke it up into 5, 5, and 5.
Gotcha, because I was about to say my inventory said 7 gold. I'm like, there's no way.
Yes, you have 507 gold. So with this one, for this one here, you see someone who looks like they've been bitten by a snake. And we're not talking little snake, we're talking big snake.
Big snake.
He looks like he's poisoned. He looks like he's severely injured. And someone is rubbing ointment from the clay jar onto it. And he is slowly healing from it.
Oh, it's an ointmenty thing. Not what I thought it was. That's nice. How about the gold ring?
Gold ring with bloody letters.
Yeah, that one.
More tiny bloody letters.
Bloody tiny letters.
So for this one here, you see someone looking like they're doing more than they should be able to. Like they're not that they're attacking more than they should, but they're fighting better. But you also feel like you're also seeing like that the ring is expending some type of energy to do this. You also get the image of like a thief picking a lock, and it looks like the thief might have a problem. The ring looks like it expends a little bit of its energy, and he is able to get through it.
Okay.
How much is that?
That ring is 5,000.
Jesus.
The 2 tightly rolled parchments. Am I able to open them and see what they are, or?
If you point to them, he will actually tell you what they are.
Okay.
I say tell, but it's not like you get a mental image. One is a spell scroll of regeneration. He says that and shows you an image of 2,500. The other is the scroll of revivify, and he shows you 300 for that.
I mean, to be fair, a scroll of revivify is probably not a bad thing for this party to have available.
Yeah, I was going to say, at 300 gold, I'll actually shell out the gold.
So, add your 500 and then take out 3 of that.
Yep, already.
All right. We got anything else you want to look at?
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I want there, but I'm just not willing to sell my soul for it.
It's okay. I already did. It's fine.
What's the shield?
The shield, you said? The shield with webs on it, correct? That
Yes.
one?
Yes, sir.
You... You see someone standing with the shield in hand, not even bothering to block the arrows coming at him. You see that the arrows are striking him, and much like the warriors you were seeing earlier, the sword wraiths, the arrows look like they should have gone deeper, but kind of didn't. Like they were getting more resistant than they should.
Oh. Do any of us regularly use a shield? I mean, aside from when we're not?
Nope.
No, but if we get permanently switched, that might be something that's helpful.
That's true.
Yeah, he shows you a mental image of 800 for that.
And what about the rapier? That's the last one I'm interested in.
Sorry, big list. For the rapier, you see an image of someone striking a enemy. The enemy doesn't truly matter. What you see is that the sword itself curses both targets. You see the residual magic from it. And you see that the person that he was striking with the sword took extra damage, and it looks like the wound was festering. So you can lead to believe that this is not normal piercing damage like it would have been from a regular rapier. In another instance, you see that the target looks like they were having a harder time than they should resisting spells that they would resist very easily. On the final case, you see a healer, a cleric healing someone, and just watch the heal never happen. They're casting the spell, but nothing is happening. One thing you do see, though, is that this works both ways. You see the wielder get struck, and you see the wound fester. You see the wielder having a harder time dealing with things that you probably should have. You also see the wielder not be able to heal while the effect is active.
Interesting.
Yeah, not for me. I'm too push buttony.
Say that again?
I said that won't work for me. I push too many buttons.
I mean, you say you push buttons, but I'm the only one that signed the contract.
That's fair. I'm not pushing that button.
He looks at you. He looks at you directly and puts up 500 gold.
For me? For the contract?
No, for the rapier.
For the rapier,
Oh,
500.
No, I'm okay. All right, I'm good.
All right. So if these guys aren't interested in buying anything else right now, can we assume that I still have that remainder on account for when I use the coin to call you again? Okay. So that means we have a summon magical merchant with a 2,500 gold on account if we walk away right now. I think that's pretty good, guys. I mean, if there's nothing else here you like, at least we know we can do this later, like when we have a good amount of money, and I mean like a good amount of money, and then maybe like even just like clean him out no matter what he has, because, you know, we'll have a good amount of money.
I like the idea.
Cool. Well, thank you, Mr. Bone Merchant. I agree. I love this Bone Merchant too. I can't imagine that any part of this is going to go badly. I'm getting the worst look from across the room, like, you dumb son of a bitch right now.
All right. So I added the amount that you have left over to the list.
Okay,
I'm going to remove the items that you've purchased because those are no longer there.
that makes sense.
Clarify, you've purchased the robe
Mm-hmm.
and you've purchased the scroll of revivify, correct?
Yes.
And that is everything.
That's everything that we've purchased at this point. How much would another silver coin cost, just in case he doesn't have one when he comes back? This way we know that we have two.
He looks at you and
It's not a problem because he can just always make sure that he has one.
he puts his hand up and you're just watching them fall out from one hand into the other.
Okay, yeah, all right, that makes sense. All right.
You signed the contract, so you walking away, he gives you the impression that you signed that contract, so you walking away, you will almost always have one.
Nice.
Unless something changes.
This is great. This is going to work perfectly. There's nothing going to go wrong. This is fine.
All right. So you guys have had your encounter with the Bone Merchant.
Yeah, the Bone Merchant was great. Was this one of our majors or our +1 majors? Because I think
So
this was
one of the
major.
This is one of the major encounters.
Okay.
This was also why I wasn't worried about Gnathan dying. Because the Bone Merchant was going to show up either way.
Right. Yeah. That's fine. But now I have an even more of a vested interest in the Bone Merchant, or he has a vested interest in me. I mean, it's fine. I as a player, I'm imagining that this means I'm going to have to take one level of. Yeah, I'm going to have to cross class into Warlock, and I'm just like, I'm okay with this. This is totally fine.
You absolutely can cross class into Warlock. It would be Infernal in his case.
Oh yeah.
It would not. It would be Fiend in this case, not Undead.
Sure, why not? We'll talk about it later.
I am going to drop the coin onto your character.
All 27 of them.
Yeah, he only gave you one. Like he held one hand out.
No, I just mean 27 characters.
Oh yeah. Well, there is that.
Yeah.
And the robe of useful items, because that's what you took.
Robo useful items. I mean, that's one that's right in my wheelhouse. I will find a way to use every one of whatever randomly rolled patches it has. I love a robe of useful items. It is always exactly what it says, useful.
I am not sure why, but it will not give me the correct spell scroll, so I will note that and fix that in post so we don't have to wait for me to find all of that.
Okay.
But I think this is a good place to stop.
I think this is a great place to stop.
I wanted to make sure to get this part done because I will absolutely forget that he was supposed to be here.
Yep. Nope, that's good.
And I will make a note that I need to give the Revivify scroll to Gray.
Cool. And as we're starting to wrap up, it's about that time in chat. So everybody that is in chat, who would you like to assign +1 fate point to? Do you want it to go to the Gray? Do you want it to go to the Badger Ace? Or should it go to the Gnathan Deuce? What did you guys think of the session tonight? I think Morden wrote a very compelling and interesting story. And I really enjoyed this, the Bone Merchant. This was kind of a neat setup that I've not really experienced before. So that was pretty cool for me.
Yeah, the Bone Merchant actually came right out of the pack that you picked up.
Oh, okay, cool.
But like I did my own tweaking to him, much like you did with Azan.
Right.
But I loved his concept, and I was just like, this
Ace for thinking of the class change card in your time of need. That was slick. That was you know what? I'm putting mine towards Ace for saving my butt.
Yeah, for me it was the moment of like Gnathan for selling his soul. He's gonna need fate points for later.
I mean, I loved Gray's idea of playing I'm just going to toss a short rest card, but the idea of Ace to use the campaign specific card to officially use the campaign mechanic to save his butt, that was some quick thinking.
I would just like you to know I had to buy packs because I didn't have one of those cards,
Oh,
and I got it in the last pack.
you bought
Nice.
cards to save my life.
Save your life.
I made money for not dying. I mean, that's the best of both worlds for me. All right, two ace, one gray, two gray, one Gnathan. Two gray, one Gnathan. Two gray, one ace. Anybody else? If not, Morden gets to break the tie. So we got a gray, or we got an ace.
Let's give it to Gray for being a pyro.
All right, pyromantic gray it is.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed dealing with the Bone Merchant. This will absolutely not go wrong for you.
Not what could possibly. I can call a magical merchant whenever I want. This is like some high tier Zelda stuff.
I know, right?
And then one more for ace from the gray. So there we go. So everybody's gotten at least one fate point out of tonight.
Thank you, Gray.
You.
All right, everybody. We're going to be wrapping it up for tonight. If you have enjoyed this and you are watching this on the YouTube, please do me a favor, like and subscribe, tell your friends, do all those things. Also, join us on the Twitch channel where we do these live. We have a campaign that I am GMing on Tuesdays, where these three poor schmucks are playing in it. That is our Light and Darkness campaign that runs on Tuesdays. We have this campaign on Thursdays. We have a Spelljammer campaign on Saturday, on Sunday, involving none of these guys, and then we will soon have a Drakakakakheim campaign on either Thursday or on either Friday or Saturday. So you got 3, possibly 4 days of the week where you can come and hang out and play some D&D, watch some D&D, and do some other stuff. Other than that, stop by the channel and just see if I'm on. Give it a follow, get some notifications so you know what's going on. Anyway, very much I want to thank Ace and Gray for playing in the campaign. I want to thank Morden for writing and coming up with this one and doing something really inventive and exciting for us tonight. I had a lot of fun with it. I hope that you guys had fun. We are gonna outies, and we will see you all next time. Bye.